Can prevent suffering without sacrificing something equally important, then not doing so is immoral. That idea is inescapable. Okay, so this is where he says that you should donate some money to charity or something.
Christopher, congratulations. You are indeed first.
Good evening. A high-risk sex offender in Guelph who's been released and rearrested multiple times went through the same process once again today. Medhani Johans was
yes, the Liberals. Oh, we're gonna fix the bail issue and keep criminals locked up and, What's that? You, tried to rape a woman? Yeah, just, make sure you don't miss your court date, but you can just, go out and rape again. Just don't miss the court date. Fucking retarded.
Released following a court appearance, only to be rearrested a few hours later. CTV's Karis Mapp has the latest for us.
This is video from early Monday morning.
I gotta send that to Isaac.
As Medhani Johans was released in Guelph after being behind bars since July of 2025. The 36-year-old was arrested on July 25th for criminal harassment and breaching court orders. Johans has a lengthy history with police and had been arrested 4 times by Guelph police in the last 2 years. In this latest case, Johans was released back into the public on Monday afternoon after pleading guilty to breaching his probation, with all other charges withdrawn.
He had served a significant amount of pretrial custody, so he was released by the court after entering that plea.
After serving 192 days in custody, equating to a 288-day pre-custody credit, Johans' handcuffs were removed, and he left through the front door of the Ontario Court of Justice in Guelph, prompting police to put out the 3rd public warning about Johans.
We do believe that he poses an ongoing risk to the community based on...
Hey, we let out a rapist. He was in jail, but we let him out. So be on the lookout for this rapist. We're just warning you all. We just released a dangerous rapist. Oh my god, dude. Like, this is Canada under the libs.
Previous behavior.
Thanks for warning everybody. Yeah, this guy looks like he really needs to be, like, let out of jail, right? Like, fuck me, dude.
And previous interactions that we've had with him.
When releasing Johans, Justice John Lynch said he hoped Johans accepted the help being offered through probation, otherwise could see Johans spending much of the remainder of his life in custody.
People get confused.
Dude, just look at this guy. He's got the crazy eyes. He's fucking crazy. Yes. Let him spend the rest of his life in jail. What the fuck are you thinking?
If we consider him a danger to the public, why is he being released? And again, that's a decision that's made by the court, not by the police. You know, in this case, he's obviously served what the court deemed to be sufficient time in custody up until this date. So the court, deemed that it was appropriate to release him.
But less than 2 hours later.
Well, you've been here long enough. Just go out and rape again. Yeah. Dude, the court system here is just fucking retarded.
Later, Guelph police confirmed the reoffender had once again been arrested.
By the way, they keep letting criminals, like, and people who are, like, seriously fucking dangerous, back out on the street. And then what do? Alongside that, they try to take away your guns. So let's do things to increase violent crime and then take away guns from law-abiding citizens so that there's more dangerous criminals that have just as much access to guns, and then take away guns from good people who just want to protect themselves. I don't know how the fuck the Liberal government got elected again. Like, holy crap, Canadians are fucking stupid as shit, dude.
Police say he was seen breaching a condition of his latest probation order after being instructed to stay away from a particular address. Johans is now set to appear in court on Tuesday for a bail hearing on this latest allegation.
Yes, bail hearing.
Kara Smith.
Yes, give him bail. Fucking retarded. I love the comments. Being a criminal in Canada and Europe seems like paradise. Send him to the judge's house. Yeah, they should send these people to the judge's home. Government clearly wants these psychopaths on the street. Oh yeah, they absolutely do. And again, the liberals just gaslight you and say, oh, we fixed the bail system. Like, yeah, it was kind of a revolving door, but we fixed it. Don't worry. Right.
Security camera footage from the gym shows the final moments of the 55-year-old man who was doing a bench press workout in the municipality of Olinda in Greater Recife. Lying on the bench, he holds the barbell and performs the exercise, lowering it to chest height and raising it in a controlled manner. The first set was just a warm-up. The total between the barbell and falls on him. It is at this moment that the barbell slips from his hands and falls on him. He tries to get up, but falls again shortly after.
Is this AI? What the fuck? Like some random Indian dude. And it's auto-dubbed. Imagine dying only benching like 150 pounds. That's embarrassing. What the fuck is this channel? It's 1.41 million subs. 24,000 videos. And they're uploading a video, it seems like every few hours. This has to be AI. Why am I getting recommended this horse shit? Like, are you fucking serious?
Good evening.
Why the fuck is YouTube recommending this fucking garbage? This is great.
He's help.
Absolutely fucking great, dude. Holy hell. I'm eating red lentil pasta and the Beyond Italian sausages.
Just dropped 3.5 million files, and it is incredible. Huge bombshells about some of the most powerful people on the planet. I can't believe they let some of this stuff out. I mean, it is stunning. Honestly, one of the biggest lies we've seen is the idea that the FBI could possibly come to us and say, not only is there not a client list, there was no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. Guys, we're about to see planned blackmail to one of the most powerful people on the planet, and that is Bill Gates. Listen, there's a lot we're gonna get to, but we have to start with probably the craziest revelation here, which is Jeffrey Epstein emailing himself about Bill Gates. Now, if you don't know, Bill Gates and Epstein had a relationship post 2008. That's a big year. You're going to hear a lot today because 2008 was the time that Epstein pled guilty for soliciting of somebody under the age of 18. He was a predator at this point. Everybody knew it. Now, eventually, Bill Gates would get divorced when all of this came out. Melinda Gates said it was
Weird. I didn't know about this.
part of the direct cause for the divorce. She said she met Epstein and said he was evil.
He was evil personified.
So you have to understand, this is like Bill Gates' kryptonite. He's one of the richest men on the planet. He's got this huge philanthropy arm. But this relationship with Epstein has been a huge problem for him. And Epstein appears to have known that because in 2013, Bill Gates appears to be distancing himself from Jeffrey Epstein. And Epstein seems to have a problem with that. He says, I assume the dedication to our relation went both ways. Larry has now asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement. Basically, he's got to shut up about his relationship with Bill Gates. And this is where the blackmail starts. And it comes in the form of like, if I were you, I would do X. If I were the type of guy that you should be. He says, in that regard, I suggest I buy you the house that you had your heart set on. In addition to 5 years of severance, we'll buy you out of the investment contract we agreed upon, 30 to 40% of an $100 million partnership for $30 million in today's terms. That's what I would have done had I been in your shoes. Then he lays out what he has on Bill Gates, or what he says he has. Quote, to add insult to injury, you subsequently, with tears in your eyes, implore me to delete the emails I had regarding your STD. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you could surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your I mean, this is insane. It's completely insane. It's like basically laying out.
Well, who'd have thunk it? Bill Gates is fucking degenerate.
Out in text form, I would give me millions of dollars, and I can't believe you're asking me to delete the message where you were going to give STD medication to your wife without her knowledge. I mean, it's complete. It's crazy. It's just completely obvious what he's doing here. It's just a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Here's what you should do. But now that coming out after Epstein's death, this looks really bad for Gates, obviously, because you usually wouldn't blackmail somebody.
Why do you think child sex predators are so common? I have 10 of them in a half-mile radius of my house, according to the Megan's Law website. There may be like an evolutionary explanation for that. So like it's, life is a battle of genes, right? So how is a man going to spread his genes as efficiently as possible? If there's a large amount of men who are sexually attracted to minors, well, minors are easy to control, manipulate, have sex with many times, and if they're, in their early teens, pretty easy to get them pregnant. So, it would kind of make sense from a evolutionary standpoint that evolution would kind of select for a preference for very young women, because it just gives you more opportunity to spread genes. So there may just be, like, for that reason, just a lot of fucking dudes who are just into minors. It's kind of hard to pinpoint how many women are attracted to minors too, because there's been quite a lot of stories in the news where there's like female sex offenders. It's just that people don't take those issues seriously. Like I've talked about the one female teacher in my high school who probably had sex with a student. Nobody fucking did anything about it. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
Falls in love with a far-left radical activist. Instead of an epic love story, we get foreign-influenced
global web of Chinese propaganda,
which is allegedly operating across the globe.
Chaos.
We need children. Life is
and destabilization.
Fuck you! Shame on you!
Meet the most influential power couple you've never heard of.
Who exactly is this man, and how exactly was
Why are they all Indian?
Neville Singham and Jodie Evans bound themselves in unholy matrimony to the enemies of the West. The bride, director of protest movement Code Pink, has a long history in extremist left-wing public activism. The groom, though a multi-millionaire software mogul, is a radical Maoist who cut his teeth affiliating with various radical Marxist-Leninist groups in Detroit. But why should we care about the eccentricities of a far-left millionaire and his activist wife? Because they are marshalling their considerable resources and networks to do the bidding of some of the most anti-Western forces on Earth and to cause chaos around the world. Neville Singham has been under regular investigation since the 1970s for activity in groups engaged in activities inimical to the US. In the same year that Singham married Evans, he sold his $785 million software enterprise and started to funnel his fortune through a network of shell companies, non-profit organizations, and news networks aligned with the couple's extremist interests. But this so-called social activism intersects with foreign political interference. And
well, we already knew this, so yeah, they're just working with the Chinese Communist Party. communist brain rot.
Illegal on stolen land. No one is illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, like, end wokeness is a fucking retarded, but it's like, yeah, your $14 million mansion in LA is built where the Tongva tribes lived, and he plans on returning it. It's like, it's just fucking retarded. Such a joke. And again, she lives in a fucking gated community and everything. Like, she doesn't have to deal with, like, fucktard, insane, illegal immigrants ever.
I know it's on YouTube, but it's this amazing campaign speech. Where, you got it? Is it 2008? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Here it is. Listen to this. What?
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they...
Cheers. Cheers from the Democrats.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
You're gonna learn English, everybody's cheering.
Whatever. Wow. My goodness, some good kitty playing. Wow, those kitties were playing good.
A man who was too...
Oh wait, did I... Oh my god. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh shit, you donated so many links.
Hey guys, look.
Says there's 14 children enrolled here.
You don't care. This is my daycare.
Then where are the children?
You don't care.
Those are koalas. Wow, so fuzzy. Elon Musk, after Epstein. Yeah, it's really fucking weird how these people were interacting with him after he was an admitted fucking sex offender.
He opens the doors, and there's a massage table in the middle of the room. And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And we...
Yeah, so these people are all liars. Let's see, Dodo donated another $2. Now, how much of a sicko you gotta be to get banned on Xbox Live in 2013? Harassment, threats, abuse of other players. Okay. Literally don't
in the
care.
Senate today calling for no military intervention in Iran. And
Whatever. Unable to look at that. What am I fucking... What is this? I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything.
Israel to fight for aid to Israel, all the aid that Israel needs. I will continue to fight for it.
Okay, why are you sending me this shit? What the fuck are all these fucking links, dude?
And it's coincidentally one of my favorite novels, since I was 16.
Okay, yeah, that's Zoran Mamadani's mother.
Now saying he regrets it a bit. He's far from the only one. This happens in the man who was too stubborn to sell his house is now saying he regrets it a bit. He's far from the only one. This happens enough in China, there's a name for it, called nail houses. The residents refuse.
Seems Jeff fired on utilitarians. Tia being in the files is unexpected. Really like his content. I'll skip through 3. Feeling as a retard. Apparently wanting to chemically enhance yourself with peptides makes you a pussy.
I took peptides for chains of amino acids that help the body signal recovery. Peptides more like puss boy tides, am I right? Yeah.
Great.
Koalas are cute, it's just a shame they are all so useless evolutionary flops that don't contribute anything to the ecosystem.
No, they're fluffy and cute. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. When's Bitcoin gonna come back up? It's probably gonna be a while.
For something that's completely false or fake. I mean, maybe he did that. But we also know Bill Gates had affairs. Obviously, Melinda credits it for their divorce. So it's hard to believe there was nothing sketchy going on. Bill Gates, of course, maintains that it was completely above board. He says the fact this allegation was in here just shows how much Epstein was willing to defame people. But Epstein lays it out. He says he helped Bill get drugs in order to deal with the consequences of sex with Russian girls, facilitating his illicit trysts with married women, and to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments. Look, guys, this is exactly what we suspected the whole time. Epstein was providing services to rich people and expecting payment via blackmail. Now you might say, and it's true, that we don't know that Epstein ultimately sent that version of an email to Gates. All we know is he sent that to himself. He may have planned the blackmail and just been drafting something. But what we do know are 2 things. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Gates was threatened by Epstein over an affair. We also know that...
Wait, actual cunt fuck is wrong with the basic chat. I've been subbed for a decade but can't say anything. You're on VG. Fuck anti-freedom and just cause some are anti-gun doesn't mean all liberals are lost.
Love how the shorts are just so fucking terrible on YouTube. Like, you have to wait 10 seconds to be able to fucking mute the video. Oh, it's a special cat. It's a good loaf. Wow. Little baby. So nice and little. Thanks for the donation, Boopity Bop.
That after this blackmail email Jeffrey sent to himself was written, eventually Gates sent a $2 million donation to MIT directed by Jeffrey Epstein, which is a bit weird if you had distanced yourself from the guy and y'all had this big falling out. Now again, do we know for sure that Bill Gates did all of that? No, of course we don't. But do I think Bill Gates was innocently looking for charity advice from a after he already pled guilty? No, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm not that gullible. And speaking of not that gullible, we've been lied to also by another richest guy on the planet. Geez, it's a shock why they don't want to put this out. Elon Musk, who has been saying for years that it is a lie that he went to...
Bill Clinton only told us, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me.
Times is reporting. All right, this just in. The New York Times is reporting that both Bill and Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify in person in front of the House Oversight Committee's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. So attorneys for the Clintons say they will, quote, appear for depositions on mutually agreeable dates. This comes just days before the House was set to vote to hold both Bill and Hillary Clinton in criminal contempt of Congress. Now, previous Epstein document releases have highlighted Epstein's connections to the former president. In fact, one image shows him in a pool with an unidentified person. The former president has appeared in photos with Epstein and took a handful of trips with him decades ago, but has not been accused of any wrongdoing.
Well, I can tell you this. I never raped a woman on Epstein's Island. Thanks for the donation, Bill Clinton. Epstein, fanatic donor tellers, do you think the Epstein files are big distraction? Think the CIA is in Iran stirring it up? I've been looking through the files and saw Prince Andrew, but didn't really do anything in them. The only thing I saw really was Trump being a rapist. No. I don't see how that would, I don't know, the timing's a little weird. It doesn't seem to coincide with anything in Iran. Thanks for the donation though, dude. Dodo donated $2.
Oh, James is videoing it.
It's a nice whale. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Look at that whale. You're playing fetch. Wow, whales are really nice. Oh my god. Whales are pretty fucking cool.
We're trying to get Barry Weiss canceled. She's scheduled to come.
Coping?
Yeah, Coping.
Y'all in Coping?
Yeah.
Yo, chat.
Okay.
Coping in the building.
Yeah.
Hi. I love you guys.
Thank you so much.
I love you guys so much.
Let's get
Barry Weiss is back canceled.
Yeah.
Why would Charlie Kirk get shot but not Hassan? You'd think there'd be somebody who'd be more motivated to take out Hassan with just how terrible of a person he is. It's fucking weird. Giga Chad says U.S. is ready to strike. U.S. strike signaling on Iran. It doesn't make any fucking sense that they'd bring over all those warships and everything, and then they just wouldn't. Like, it sounds like they're going to do a regime change. I don't know exactly what they're waiting on, but
The FBI
it sounds like they're going to do something.
in Las Vegas police raided what they're calling a suspected homemade biological laboratory. And now we're learning this could be connected to a similar incident in California. Let's go live to CBS News correspondent Chanel Call. She's in the newsroom for us today. And Chanel, what can you tell us about these raids and how investigators are connecting them?
Well, Muga, good to see you and good morning to you. So we have this video that was released to us by Las Vegas Metro Police this weekend, and it essentially shows how and when this all unfolded. This happened early Saturday morning at about 6 a.m. And what you're looking at here is police on the scene. There were multiple different agencies that showed up as part of this operation. There was the FBI, there was hazmat crews, there was a SWAT team there, and they converged on this home. They say they've arrested one person, and they also say inside Mugo, they found a possible biological lab. Here's more from the sheriff.
Our teams went inside and found evidence of possible biological material, including refrigerators with vials containing unknown liquids. There's a lot of questions that we have that need to be answered, a lot of work that is ahead of us that needs to be done. We have one suspect who I was informed that we were taking him into custody as we were walking in here. We're not prepared to release any
Home that we just showed you this past weekend as well. They said at that second home, they did not find any indication there was another biological lab. And at this point,
Weird. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Thanks for the membership, Lieb Wilden.
I know they're cute. What I mean is, despite being cute, they are also worthless flops because they don't do anything for the environment. They are one of the few species that if they went extinct, nothing would change and the world would be fine.
No. They're, very cute and fluffy. So that's a very important ecological niche. I also really like her butt. That is a fantastic derriere. Oh boy, do I ever love butts. Just wonderful rear end. Why is there that fat dude in the background? That is such a nice juicy booty. It's always weirded me out how, like, there's people who are really fat, but they're comfortable taking their shirt off. I've always been very self-conscious. What a great, great derriere. Well, that's a good muscle mommy break. Donate $2. Let me
You should absolutely kink shame men. Anti-kink shaming propaganda is entirely
Ow. Oh, it's a little kitten. It's a little baby kitty. Look at your little baby. Oh, it's your baby. Wow, baby's bouncing. That's a good baby. Oh my god. Wow, look at that baby go. Oh my goodness.
My pet peeve is when people go, oh no, that's not a man, bro. That's a little boy. That's little boy behavior. No, it's man behavior. It was a man. Get the fuck out of here with that. Oh no, that's boy behavior, not man behavior.
Why are you sending me this horseshit? This, the son even looks like a psychopath. Ali Khamenei has been grooming his demon son to become supreme leader. He's even worse. Yeah, they might be trying to... You know, that might be why the US is delaying the attacks. They're trying to find out exactly where Khamenei and his son are. But yeah, hopefully they both get whacked. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Epstein's island. In fact, he says he refused to go. From Elon, he says, Epstein tried to get me to go to his island. I refused. He says, anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Later responding to another headline which said Elon Musk planned trip to Epstein's private island. And he says, this is false. But of course, we start to dig through the files and we can see on Epstein's calendar that Elon Musk is booked in December 6th of 2014. But maybe you don't believe that. That's just the word of Jeffrey Epstein. But maybe you'll believe the word of Elon Musk, who was caught emailing Jeffrey Epstein to go to his island, post the guilty plea. Elon Musk writes, will be in BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Good time to visit. Jeffrey Epstein says, I will send a heli for you. Later, Elon Musk writes to Epstein.
By the way, knowing Elon Musk with his, like, bizarre breeding fetish, like, you can make some assumptions.
Probably just Tallulah and me, his ex-wife, what day and night would be the wildest party on your island? The world's richest man is asking the most pedophile man for the wildest party on his island. And then it gets more explicit. In 2012, remember, this is the guy who said, I refused it. I could never do that, right? It's false. But here in 2012, he says, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of my sanity this year. I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite.
Really weird how all these people are fucking lying.
Nigga, let's not pretend you wouldn't go to Epstein's island if you were invited. If that nigga invited you saying he'd send a private plane to pick you up, and that there will be lesbians and you can have anal sex with girls there, you would 100% go.
I'm not really into having sex with strangers, so no. I like exploring girls' butts and all that, but I like to know them first. Thanks for the donation, though, 21st.
Of what I'm looking for. Guys, he can't even play the I went to go study math excuse, which is what all these guys do. They say, hey, I just went to go talk to scientists. Elon's like, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm looking for a party. That's what I'm here to do. And then Jeffrey Epstein writes, understood, I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make your ex-wife uncomfortable. I can't believe these guys are lying to us and people are swallowing it still, thinking that Elon Musk had nothing to do with this guy. So again, that's 2012. That's 2014. But guess what? There's another time in 2013. I mean, this seems like a yearly thing with the boys. Here, once again, Elon Musk writes, we'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Again, is there a good time to visit? Jeffrey Epstein, any day, 1st to the 8th, play it by ear if you want, always space for you. They then plan some more, and you might think, well, if Elon ever told the truth,
it doesn't matter whether you find them cute or not, it doesn't change the simple fact that they contribute nothing to the ecosystem.
Well, it does matter, because being cute is important. This is also just some dumb bitch Reddit post. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. I'd rather them go extinct than koalas. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
This is when he has to reject, right? Because he said, I refused. But actually, it appears to be one of those cases where, like, your friend says, like, oh, bro, I dumped her. And actually, it was the other way. Yeah, it turns out Elon didn't dump the dumped Elon. He says, bad news. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. Hopefully, we can schedule another time in the future. Jeffrey Epstein let Elon down. That's actually the real story. Is the reason he didn't go in 2013.
Check out this epic song.
Babies gather round old Uncle Rastus. I want to tell you something very strange. The color of the moon I'm going to change, and the coon is to blame. The white trash will fool all those what's easy. They think we are ignorant, I presume. The eclipse tomorrow night will prove that I is right. There's a nigger in the moon.
Yes, a lot of old songs are racist. Thanks for the donation. Good song.
Police were...
Holy shit. I am fucking wiped from that workout. There's a lot of women who are crazy, who have these weird police interactions. Gig pooping? You having a good poop gig? 225. Even though it's like a really low percent. My pecs are definitely getting bigger. I've been adding in some more pressing variations. Help build my pecs up. Of my 1RM. Everything's getting bigger. Shoulders, arms, pecs. Very good. Very good indeed. I am highly... You take. Yeah, especially after those heavy fucking shoulder shrugs. Holy fuck.
Edward, like
That really wiped me out.
So,
Where's
like-
the... I want
But
to
I
see
have to
the
leave.
set I did with the weight.
He fucking.
I yell a lot.
Thanks for that donation, 23.
Work in the armpits. Doing pendlay rows when you're like vomiting is really miserable. Very good. Very good indeed. Getting swole. Yeah, I'm almost at 600 pounds now. That is super exhausting. This is the main reason why I switched my leg day with my back day. Because after I do these heavy fucking shrugs, doing legs the next day is super fucking difficult.
Oh. Oh.
Getting the Kazuya traps, though.
That guy.
Got a full 10 with the 60s. So I'm up to the 65s now. I think I got 7 reps with the 65s. Pretty sure that's an all-time PR. If I can get 10 with the 65s, that'd be a huge, huge PR. I think probably in the next, like, couple weeks, I might be able to get 10 with the 65s. I'll probably use microplates and go up to 67 or 68 and a half. This is time. Here. 2 hours, 51 minutes. Yes, that is probably why I'm so tired.
I'd rather Billie Eilish, and anyone else with the similar ideologies as her to go extinct.
Thank you so much. I can't believe this. Everyone else in this category are so amazing. I love you so much. I feel so honored every time I get to be in this.
Yeah, I've already seen the clip. I can guarantee you, if she didn't live in a fucking mansion and she had to deal with, like, crazy, retard, dumb fuck immigrants, especially if they're from Pakistan, like, her with the way she looks with her big tits, she would not want immigrants around. Like, this is a spoiled, wealthy, rich person who never has to deal with the, you know, the lower tier of society. And then she's, like, talking about how, yeah, let pieces of shit come into the country illegally. She's just a fucking idiot. Thanks for the donation, Grey Knight.
Welcome to Jihadis Doing Pilates. Did you know that jihadis have their own version of Pilates?
Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Mahdi, Ya Zahra, Ya Zahra, Ya Zahra.
Well, good for that old dude for staying active. This is really weird, though. Thanks for the donation, G.
Holy fuck, you were the most gay cucked beta male imaginable just 2 years ago. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna avoid playing this because a little worried. They who shall not be named might come up. But yeah, women are evil. I've learned that. Okay, thanks for the donation, dude. Dodo donate $2. Turning Point USA is doing their own so-called patriotic halftime show during the Super Bowl on Sunday. This is what our so-called Secretary of War is focused on instead of Iran. I hate this administration. I wasn't aware of any football game, but whatever, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To be fair, mankind is yet another one of nature's mistakes as well.
Wouldn't say mankind necessarily. Maybe dumbasses. Dumbass humans. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
13 was because he couldn't go. Jeffrey Epstein was not there. Guys, I mean, how blatant do they have to make it before we start to just see through it, right? When they issue these ridiculous denials, they're totally associated with the guy after the guilty plea. They lie through their teeth, but...
Well, you know, this also puts a whole nother level on, like, this conspiracy, too. Like, you know, the Trump administration, they're clearly trying to hide all this Epstein file shit. Like, this is a big cover-up, obviously. All the people who donated to Trump's campaign are, like, in the fucking Epstein files. Like, there's Musk. I don't know if Bill Gates ever donated to Trump's campaign, but all these big tech companies have given the Trump administration money. I'm pretty sure Microsoft did give Trump money. Amazon, I'm pretty sure, has given Trump money. I think Apple's given Trump money. And they got some of the relief from the tariffs. So, like, it's just weird. It puts a whole nother layer on things where it's not just Trump that wants some of this hidden away. Like Musk would obviously want some of this shit hidden away too. Bill Gates wants some of this shit hidden away. And, like, all these people are involved with giving the Trump administration money. So, it's really fucked. 21st $20, don't worry, N-word, that woman who shall not be named is not in that clip at all. It's just a cuck take on you had on women in the police force. You need to play it. Let me see.
Yeah, sure. So if you don't include these people in the political and legal system, that opens them up to far more abuse. Like, there's a reason why. By the way, there's a reason why in a lot of these police precincts, there's a goal to have a certain amount of female officers. It prevents women, female suspects from getting abused and taken advantage of.
It sure doesn't prevent those female officers from getting their asses kicked by male suspects.
Well, I wasn't advocating that these officers do the exact same job that male officers do. I think it is good to have some amount of female officers. I just don't think they should be doing beat work like men.
Suspects very much, does it?
Well, again, you can arrange duties in a way that's beneficial for everybody.
I mentioned
right. So what you have to do is you have to give them lighter duties, because if they run into men, they can't fucking deal.
Why in the fuck is... Oh my god, YouTube just...
deal with it nearly as well.
It's only on this computer. When I watch shit on my laptop, it doesn't do this stupid thing.
Men are far better equipped to be cops. Just admit that that's true.
That is true.
Of course. And they're better equipped to be soldiers.
Yeah, so, like, I never made the argument that women should be doing the exact same work as men. I just said it's probably a good idea to have some female officers, like, for a variety of reasons. It may prevent female suspects from getting mistreated, probably prevent some lawsuits if you ever have to strip search a female. Well, now, if a female is involved with doing a strip search, the likelihood of the person being able to successfully sue, way lower. And it probably disincentivizes them from even thinking of suing in the first place. So it saves public money doing some of this shit. So, like, it's not a bad idea to have some amount of female police officers. It's just a bad idea to have, like, a 50-50 fucking split of male-female officers and give both of them the exact same fucking duties. Like, that's fucking retarded. But I was never advocating for that. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Donate $2. Let me see.
This is everything I ate as a vegan at the best ramen place from Kyoto, Japan. We tried the most popular items on the menu, starting with the strawberry matcha latte, which is really the best matcha I've ever had. It's smooth, creamy, and not too bitter. Then I wanted to try something different this time, so we had the spicy mala ramen that's made with an oat milk base and topped with fresh ingredients. The ramen noodles were chewy, the flavors are not too spicy, but very fragrant, so it was delicious.
I really like ramen. Sucks that it's hard to find good vegan ramen.
Also always pair this lion's mane karaage, which is crispy and has an incredible meaty texture. And when dipped in mayo, just yum. We ordered the katsudon, which is basically tofu katsu served with Japanese curry and miso soup. The portion was insane, but the tofu could have been more seasoned. The curry was, however, quite flavorful and balanced it all out. And since we rarely come here, we also got a cauliflower karaage to go. Enjoy and follow for more.
There's a place in Ottawa that has just fucking amazing cauliflower wings. Oh, fuck. When I win the lottery, I'm going to that restaurant and I'm just telling them, keep bringing the cauliflower wings. I'll just be there all fucking day, stuffing my face. Would you be worried or get off the plane if that were your flight attendant? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'd be worried for sure. That is not normal. What in the fuck is this? Weird. Insane. Watch hole later.
A whistleblower trapped in...
Escaped Chinese mafia crypto slavery. That is interesting. Okay, we'll watch that later. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
But they can't even keep their story straight. I mean, that's what's crazy. They're not even competent at this. They get caught in their own lies all the time. Remember, the FBI's official story was they didn't blackmail. Well, before we even had these files, Howard Lutnick was on the record calling Jeffrey Epstein the greatest blackmailer ever.
So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Interesting. Okay, so Howard has a different perspective. Now, if you don't know, that guy, do you think he's just telling the truth there? Even this guy who's contradicting the official narrative.
Dodo $20. By the way, she said that ramen place was from Kyoto, Japan. She means it's a chain from Kyoto, and the one she went to was in Batam, Indonesia, which is a hour ferry ride from our home in Singapore. Singapore is overpowered. I wouldn't want to live in Singapore. It's kind of a totalitarian shithole, and it's a very expensive place to live. It is bizarre how overly inflated everything is. Like, if you want to get a Toyota Prius, it's like 200 grand. It's like, it's fucking crazy. I don't know how cars are so expensive there. They also banned pretty much all e-bikes there. You also don't have freedom of speech. They still do corporal punishment. Like, they'll literally spank you as a legal punishment for breaking the law. It's bizarre. So, yeah. If you're kind of like an outspoken person who kind of just wants to live a free sort of life, it's just a terrible place to live. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
And speaking of nature's mistakes.
They cannot come in unless they come in legally into our country, and we're letting some great people come in. They have to show that they can love our country. They have to be proud. Not like Ilhan Omar. Did you see what? Did you see that wise guy? You know, she's always talking about the Constitution provides me with the following. You know, the Constitution, she comes from a country that's a disaster. It's considered, I think, it's not even a country, okay? It barely has a government. I don't think it does. They go to one thing, pirates.
Is she from Somalia or Somaliland? Where is she from? No, she's from Somalia. Yeah, that literally isn't a real country. Somalia is a shithole. Somaliland is a much better place, but yeah, Somalia is a shithole. The pirate thing is a little weird to mention. The whole story behind the Somali pirates is kind of weird. It's not really their fault entirely that that situation got the way it was, but yeah, it's still a shithole. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I've been vegan for a decade. I want to incorporate more vegetables into my diet. What are your go-to vegetables to eat? Do you buy them fresh or frozen? Also, how many cups a day of veggies do you eat daily if you had to estimate?
I just eat broccoli. I don't know. I just steam broccoli with my rice, and I put as much broccoli as I can in the little steamer thing. Thanks for the donation, W.
If you have enough money to retire and you don't care much about how Singapore suppresses free speech somewhat, it's not exactly like China or anything, but I get what you mean. Well, then it's a good option. Warm all year round, amazing hospitality, plus English speaking.
Well, given my lifestyle, there's no fucking chance I could ever live in Singapore. They still have capital punishment for drug dealing. I think even if you use drugs, they might even still impose capital punishment. So yeah, getting black market steroids, they'd put me away or kill me. It's fucking gay as shit. Canada is probably the best country on the planet if you want to do black market drugs. They do not prosecute anybody who buys and uses drugs. Like, it just never happens. So it's great to live here if you want to do steroids or literally any drugs. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
This guy literally lived next to Jeffrey Epstein. This guy was like, I'm going to tell the truth. Those guys participated. That guy lived next to...
Dodo donated $2, not to mention in Singapore there are no crazy crackheads and weirdos and crime rate is near zero and there's no religious fundamentalism. Well... with countries like that, when they say the crime rate is zero, it's not really zero. You just see a lot more like corporate corruption type crimes that don't really get prosecuted. It's like a lot of white collar crime. But thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To Jeffrey Epstein. And by the way, he lied too. I love this video we're about to get into because this guy, Mr. He's the greatest blackmailer ever, does he know something we don't know? Because it's interesting. Mr. I'm his neighbor had to also explain how he had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And he lays it out pretty simply. He goes, yep, I lived next to him, but in 2005, I had such a horrible experience.
I'm in Singapore. Plenty of people are on black market steroids. Are they public about it? Because, like, again, me being on social media and, like, openly using steroids, I don't know if that would be safe for me to be in Singapore. Yeah, like, if you're a normal person, maybe it wouldn't matter, but, yeah, for me, probably not a good idea for me to live there.
Experience that I knew I could never talk to him again.
He was your neighbor for 10 years. How well did you know?
Oh, yeah. Like, in Japan especially, like, people bring up the crime rate in Japan. They don't know fucking shit about the legal system in Japan. That is absolutely the case in Japan, that they catch a low amount of criminals. Especially when it comes to, like, sexual crimes. Dude, the amount of fucking prostitution, including, like, underage prostitution in Japan, is fucking crazy through the fucking roof. And none of these people get prosecuted, and a lot of it has to do with them just not caring. Like, they just do not give a shit. I've noticed that in a lot of Asian cultures, they kind of stay out of people's way when it comes to, like, weird domestic disputes or, like, sexual related things. And unless, like, women come forward and, like, have real evidence, like, they do not fucking care. And on top, and they have, like, this very sort of old world conservative mindset where it's like, oh, well, yeah, she was 14, but, you know, she comes from a bad family and she's a fucking whore anyway. Like, she could have stayed in school and, like, made something of herself, but she decided to be a whore, so she made her own decisions kind of thing. Like, they don't have the mindset, like, okay, if somebody, like, raped a 14-year-old, they have more of the mindset of, well, you know, like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She came from a shitty family and she's, like, being a piece of shit. She could have stayed in school and done better for herself, so whatever. It's weird. And on top of that, the way Japan's criminal system works, they will not prosecute you unless they're absolutely sure that they can get a conviction. So, again, with a lot of sexual crimes, it's hard to have, like, very obvious concrete evidence where, like, it's very rare that any of this ever gets, like, caught on camera. So, like, they just do not prosecute anything like that. That's why, like, you see these statistics where Japan has, like, a quarter the rape rate of, like, the United States. Well, they don't have a quarter of the rape rate. They just have a quarter of the, like, conviction rate, because they never prosecute, never investigate any of these crimes, because it's a combination of they don't care, and even when they do care, they just won't prosecute because they won't even bother unless they're absolutely fucking certain they can get a conviction. That's why the conviction rate, if you're accused of a crime, is like 98%. They also have like one of the most fucked up jail systems imaginable. It is like it's like almost North Korea level horrific abuse. They starve prisoners. They only give you like 1,500 calories a day. So everyone loses a crazy amount of weight when they are in prison. And when they get out, like they're emaciated fucking skeletons by the time they're actually released. They also just abuse the fuck out of you. Like prison guards like will beat the fuck out of you. Like they'll force you to sleep in a certain way. They won't let you like lay down and take a nap during the day. They'll like go into your cell, beat the shit out of you and tell you to sit up. Like it's crazy. And they've let like organized crime kind of do whatever the fuck they want for the longest time. It's only fairly recently that they even bothered really cracking down on the Yakuza. So like Japan, like it's fucking retarded. Their whole legal system. They make it seem as though like they're this nice, like, you know, place where crime doesn't have, it happens all the time. And the actual legal system is like just fucking corrupt as shit.
Tofu Muscle 147. How would you rate Singapore since you live there? You like it? Am I wrong about my perception of the country? Also, VG watch Iran is killing tens of thousands.
Oh my goodness. Oh. That wasn't very nice. Wow. You know, of all things to complain about with Jerry Seinfeld, he was dating a fucking high school girl. I think she was like 16 or 17 at the time. He kind of denies it and like lies about it. He was like in his mid 30s and he was dating this chick who was like 16 or 17. And he'd have a limo pick her up literally after she got out of class. It's weird. You'd think people would focus on something like that, but... Oh, he's a Jew. You're not welcome here, Jew. Like, fuck it, of all the things. But yeah, like these people are just fucking pieces of shit. If only Iranian agents would gun these people down. Fucking retarded. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Know him.
We move in 2005. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 2008, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. And there's a massage table in the middle of the room. Massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he like gets like weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Well, he couldn't be more clear, could he, right? He says, hey, I may have been his next door neighbor, but I met him once before the 2008 guilty plea. Remember I said that was a big deal? And we got invited over and it was like 5 seconds and we left and we realized he was a creep. We were out of there. He made this rude, lewd comment in front of my wife. I would never go.
Dodo, donate $2. Let me see.
Childcare, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
Like, if you tally up the Biden versus Trump gaffes, Trump is way fucking worse. He didn't actually do bad in that debate. He, like, actually stomped Trump. Like, people are fucking stupid. They just focused on Biden being, like, an old man. Like, yeah, he's frail. He's old. His speech is kind of slowed. He has age-related cognitive decline. And he got sick, apparently. That's why his voice was so hoarse.
Once again, humans one of nature's mistakes.
Yeah, they are. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. But yeah, Biden did way better than Trump overall in that debate. Like, all Trump could say is immigrants did it, and then, like, Biden actually said things. Comments, cooked them, read the comments, video dum-dum.
How are protesters in Minneapolis
aren't most protest organized? I don't think people understood the video. Like, nobody understood the video. He was just, like, this was just a fact-based thing about the protest, like these protests. He was talking about who is behind organizing these protests, what organizations are behind it, who's financially funding them, and what the actual organizers of these protests are looking to gain from it, and what their political motivations are, and what they're actually telling people to do at these protests. And if you look at the evidence that he produced, it's a very clear, it's very clear that these protesters aren't like some weird communist agents and spies. They just have their own political concerns behind these, like, ICE deportations. They think that it's something that could violate civil rights. And none of these protest organizers are wanting to agitate and create, like, a violent response from ICE. So, if anything, this video is, like, a defense of the ICE protests. So, like, I don't know what the fuck. People are stupid, dude. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. We already watched that whole video before.
Why is Trump procrastinating so much on Iran? Trump has been leading us on a goose chase for a whole fucking month. Also, the EU labeled the IRGC as a terrorist organization. And the IRGC's response was to label the EU as a terrorists. What fucking babies?
I'm assuming it has something to do with them wanting to take out Khamenei and probably his son as well. So they probably don't know where Iran's leader is, and that is probably also why Mossad agents are in Iran right now. They're trying to locate Khamenei, and they want to locate him to either arrest him or kill him. That's probably why they're waiting. It's kind of like why Israel waited so long to take out Hezbollah's leader. What was his fucking name? I can't remember his fucking name now. But they waited a while to figure out where he was going to be, and then they found out that he was going to be at this meeting in this underground area, and they made sure they also had the munitions ready for him, and they bombed the absolute shit out of his meeting location with bunker buster bombs. So it's probably a similar situation like that. They're just waiting for an opportune time to take out Iran's leadership. That's what I would figure. And again, it's like he keeps coming up with excuses to kind of delay the attack and everything. Like, he keeps saying, oh, well, if the protesters are getting killed, we're going to respond. Oh, well, Iran said they're not going to kill any protesters, so we'll just be on standby. Oh, we're negotiating with them. Like, it sounds like they're just trying to figure out where the guy is, and then they're going to clap him. So it can take a little while to do that. Thanks for the donation, though, G. Like, again, when you... Like, Trump's a fucking retard, and he's not responsible for any of this. Like, there's a lot of highly competent people in the military that are, you know, involved in gathering the intelligence and coordinating all these attacks. Trump has nothing to fucking do with it. He can be advised on, like, what to do, and he might be the guy who has the final say in whether or not, you know, the attack happens. But, like, you also have to consider, like, Trump has the intellect of, like, an 8 or 9-year-old, so whatever the military says to him is a good idea, he's gonna follow through and do it. Like, that's why the Venezuela thing happened. He doesn't know fucking anything about Venezuela. Like, he doesn't know anything about anything. So the military is figuring out how to clap Iran, and Trump might say some weird shit in public that doesn't really make any sense, but behind the scenes, there are people that are much smarter and more competent than him that are, like, figuring out how to clap Iran. Thanks for the donation, though, G.
Go see this guy. I mean, he makes it super clear he's gross.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business.
Person online told me Israel's doing ecological genocide by cutting down trees and other plants native to the region and replacing them with European varieties. This is true. That just sounds fucking retarded. I mean, what do they mean by that? Like, if Israel wants to plant, like, olive trees or apple trees, you know, to make food, like is making food ecological genocide? I'm pretty sure, like, if you want to farm something and create, like, edible plants to eat, you have to, like, clear out some natural native wildlife and then, like, plant stuff that's actually, like, gonna make food for you. So it's like what are they talking about? I don't think I don't think they're cutting down, like, some, I don't know, Middle Eastern tree and replacing it with some European tree for fun. That just sounds stupid.
Or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
These other guys, they may have participated.
They participated.
But Howard Lutnick, he could never. No. He's too good of a guy. Well, guess what we found in the old emails? Looky. It's Howard Lutnick writing in to
In 2012.
Jeffy Boy in 2012. Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early afternoon, planning to head over.
These people probably never figured this shit would see the light of day. Dodo, $22. Let me see. We've already seen this. What do you... I get it.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. More about that.
Okay, we can watch that later. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Where are you located? What's the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? Is this the guy you said made a lewd comment to your wife and, oh, I could never be in front of him? He's gross.
Here's some gay content.
There's never been a worse time in modern history to be a young man hormonally. Testosterone levels are plummeting. Young men are feeling exhausted, anxious, and unmotivated. And at the same time, you've got more guys than ever injecting testosterone like it's a lifestyle upgrade. Both of these things are destroying men. One silently the other recklessly. Today, I'm going to explain what's actually going on with these two different situations and scenarios. I also am going to tell you what you need to do before it's too late. So the first thing we got to talk about is the silent testosterone collapse. Our testosterone levels have been plummeting over the past 50 years. Now, young men, their testosterone levels are literally as bad or as low as dudes in their 60s and 70s. Is it a coincidence? No. Is it evolution? No. It's lifestyle choices that you're actually making that are causing this to actually happen. There are three main reasons why our testosterone levels have been dropping. Number one is inactivity. If you are not moving, all right, if you're sitting there on your computer, you're sitting there gaming, you're not outside working, using your body, right? You're not in the gym, you're not straining, you're not struggling, you're not working the muscles, your testosterone level is going to plummet because a lot of times your estrogen level will increase as your body fat increases. All right, we are fat as fuck as a society. A lot of the foods that we're eating are terrible. We're sitting longer than ever. We are not using our bodies the way that we used to. And so it makes sense. In the old days, right, people were out, they were working, they were eating healthier foods. Now, a lot of the processed shit that we're consuming is wrecking and destroying our testosterone level. The second reason why your testosterone level is so bad is the products that we're actually using. A lot of the
Oh. I think I'm gonna have to poop. I am going to poop.
modern grooming products that we use as men are packed full of EDC chemicals. EDC chemicals basically are estrogen.
How did that happen? Can testosterone help with insomnia? Not really. Like, if you have very low estrogen, yeah, it could potentially help with insomnia. I seem to be a low estrogen converter, and when I got my E2 tested when I was natural, my E2 levels were below 20. And I did have sleep issues, and I also had really serious mood issues, especially if I, like, dieted more. I would be, like, you saw it, like, I was a fucking asshole when I was dieting really lean, natural. So it can, if you happen to have very low E2 levels, but generally speaking, you see it more often that dudes who are on, especially high doses of test, it's actually very activating and it can interfere with sleep. So kind of depends. Some people don't get that at all. They can do like super high doses, but you see it more often the case that people have sleep issues on test. But I gotta poop. I'll be right back. Oh my god. Oh. That was a good poop. Oh. Oh man.
I find it funny how Maduro was constantly asking Trump for peace, whereas Khamenei is trying to act big and tough and threaten Trump. I doubt he will have that same attitude when they catch or kill him. He will probably turn into a little baby. Agree?
Oh yeah. I have a feeling they're just gonna kill him. They're just gonna bomb the absolute shit out of wherever the fuck he's hiding. But thanks for the donation, G. And then you're gonna find all the Code Pink fucktards whining and crying about it. It's insane, dude. And we're gonna find out just how many of the protesters they ended up killing, and I'll love to hear their bullshit cope for defending like a guy who fucking murdered, you know, like 40 or 50K fucking civilians and executed a whole bunch of people. It's just nuts. Thanks for the donation, though, G.
Mimickers in our body. They mimic estrogen. Our estrogen goes up, our testosterone drops, and we are left with sloppy man boobs, love handles, and low testosterone. The biggest EDC offenders are the grooming products that we're actually using. The soaps, the body washes, the shampoos, the hair products, the moisturizers, deodorants. Deodorants are one of the most toxic things that you can use.
Gummy, what's going on? What's just meowing? The products that are probably worse for your testosterone, it's got to be like alcohol. Alcohol consumption by far would be the biggest contributor to low testosterone. Aside from that, it's just probably mostly obesity related, and just diet in general. Like eating a low fiber diet that's really high in animal products, especially like high fat dairy, and probably just meat in general would probably be a big factor. But a lot of people don't know this. You actually excrete estrogen through your stool. You shit it out. And if you have a low fiber diet, you end up shitting out less estrogen.
As a man, all right, which is why real quick I want to give you something because I want your testosterone level to be higher, all right? These two products, I'm giving them to you for $15. It's a testosterone boosting bundle, all right? The soap, it is eucalyptus spearmint, and as you can see, it's aluminum-free, sulfite-free, paraben-free, and it is vegan, all right? This is an amazing soap. It doesn't have EDC chemicals, so it's not going to jack up your endocrine system. And then this bad boy also, as you can see, aluminum-free, paraben-free, sulfite.
This is just silly.
Do an impression of those SJWs trying to make an excuse for the killings of those very protesters.
Donald Trump is saying that it's okay to bomb a sovereign nation just because they killed a bunch of protesters. Well, why are they supporting Israel when they're saying that it's wrong to kill protesters when Israel killed protesters just because of October 7th? The protesters on October 7th didn't even kill many Israelis. It was only 1,500 of them, and some of them they didn't even kill. They just kept them in their homes and fed them food and were nice. So I think it's hypocritical for Trump to bomb Iran, and they should stop supporting Israel, which are killing far more people than the Iranian regime is. That's probably what they're going to say. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To use higher quality products. And the third reason our testosterone has been plummeting is our lifestyle. Our sleep is trash. Our stress is through the roof. Our dopamine addiction, porn, constant scrolling, gaming, all of these things are affecting our testosterone level. Not to mention sunlight. We're not getting outside as much as we.
I highly doubt the dopamine hijacking thing is doing anything to your testosterone. There's a reason why men are probably more prone to drug addiction, and it's because they have higher testosterone, and testosterone is dopaminergic. So when you're exposed to some sort of dopamine promoting stimulus, you're going to be more prone to do it. That's probably the main reason why men are more prone to drug use and drug addiction. So you would think that would kind of like be the inverse, where men with higher testosterone would more likely be prone to those sorts of addictions. But yeah, like stress absolutely will kill test. Lack of sleep will absolutely do it. If you don't sleep, your test is going to be like 0.
We used to. A lack of sunlight. Sunlight does amazing things to your circadian rhythm. It also does things for your hormone, not to mention vitamin D that we get from sunlight. This also gets me thinking a little bit about the micronutrients.
Sunlight is a very unreliable source of vitamin D. And vitamin D doesn't really play a huge role in testosterone production. I think like vitamin D deficiency, it might contribute to like about 10% of testosterone reduction. Zinc deficiencies, on the other hand, like they can have your testosterone. Even fairly mild zinc deficiencies can reduce your testosterone by like 50%.
We're not consuming enough of the micronutrients that are vital and essential for testosterone production because our diets are shit. We're not supplementing with a high-quality micronutrient like a multivitamin. The fact is, guys, we are plummeting, and it's our fault. As a result of the lack of testosterone because of our lifestyle choices, we don't feel good. And so what do? We go to the doctor, we get some blood work done, they're like,
obesity is going to be the biggest predictor, but even when you control for obesity, testosterone levels are declining, so it's probably an environmental thing.
oh, your testosterone is low. And you're like, great, let's hop on TRT, which, let me clarify, there is a time and a place and a need for testosterone replacement therapy. But if you don't...
Every man who has reached full adult height should be on testosterone, in my opinion. There's just not really any reason not to.
Remember on your workout stream earlier, I donated the names of he and she who shall not be named, and you accidentally skipped someone else's donation thinking you skipped mine, and mine played for about 10 seconds. LOL, you fucking bitch cuck nigga, get fuck.
Yeah, you got lucky. Thanks for the donation, dude. Having super physiological levels of testosterone, you're just better. Again, the most dudes could hope for is like having a test of about 1,000. That's like the normal physiological range actually goes up to about 1,800. It's just that they're like the huge outlier, like they're the top like 0.5% of men. The reason like they say the normal physiological range goes up to 1,000, it's just because of like a statistical method that's being used where you use like a 95% confidence interval. So if you're at the top of that 95th percentile, you're going to be around 1,000. But that other 5%, that goes all the way up to 1,800. That's for total test. Free test is a bit of a different story. But you're going to just feel better if you're at like 2,000. Like, why wouldn't you? You're going to have more muscle mass, more energy, like you might have more sex drive, like especially at first. It kind of normalizes once you get used to having a super physiologically elevated hormone level. It's still going to be a bit higher, your sex drive, but you're going to have like better erection quality. And like your mood is just so much fucking better. Even if steroids didn't increase your muscle mass and you only had like those mental health benefits, I'd still take them. They're totally worth it for that. So like when people are like telling you, oh, don't go on TRT, like do this and this first, like, yeah, sure, lose weight. Like, I am not telling somebody to not like exercise and lose weight and everything and improve their health, but you should just go on testosterone anyway, even if you're like normal weight and everything. And it makes it that much easier to kind of lose weight and exercise because, again, testosterone's dopaminergic and it motivates you to do more exercise. That's why you see dudes like, like Ronnie Coleman. That guy was training for fucking Mr. Olympia and had a fucking full-time job as a police officer. Like, you're just not going to be able to do that kind of fucking level of crazy fucking training and be motivated to do it if you're not on fucking exogenous hormones. Andrei Smayev, like, that guy works fucking 60-hour weeks at a factory, and he does shift work, and he still fucking trains every day. And a lot. His workouts are fucking insanely long. Like, the guy's a fucking weird exercise-obsessed freak. He'll do fucking pull-ups for 3 hours. Like the reason he does that is because he's on fucking steroids. It just makes work feel good. So it changes your whole kind of mental outlook and motivation in a way you don't really understand until you fucking take it. It makes it so much easier to stay in shape just because you're so fucking motivated to exercise. So, like, it's just stupid. Every fucking dude who's reached their full adult height should be on testosterone. There's, like, some considerations that you might want to make where, like, with fertility, but it's easy to just go on fertility medication and have kids. Plenty of people conceive kids while they're on steroids. Like, I think Ronnie Coleman has 8 children. They were all conceived while he was competing as, in the Mr. Olympia. So, like, this idea that you're gonna be infertile is just, like, fucking horse shit. It can make you, well, it seems obvious actually. It absolutely does make you more likely to have female children. Vigor Steve made a video about this where if you're on steroids while you conceive, it does something, like there's some oxidative stress that it causes to your gametes or something where it makes you more likely to have female children. So if you want to have male kids, you probably want to come off and just go on HCG monotherapy or something. But, like, most people don't even want to have fucking kids these days, so who the fuck cares? So if you're interested in just looking better, feeling better, being more productive, and just being jacked Giga Chad, like, why in the fuck wouldn't you be on? It's just so beta male to be like, oh, don't go on testosterone. You can, like, do this and that to boost your test naturally. You're never going to boost your test to, like, 2,000 nanograms per deciliter. Like, the last time I got my testosterone checked, I was at over 4,000. I was at 4,100 nanograms. You're not getting that naturally. So it's like, why the fuck would you even bother with this horseshit? It's so stupid.
I actually was watching this show where Iranians in Iran would call into a show based in Britain. I think Iranians run the show, and Iranians have been calling in to show their disgust for the regime, screaming it to the top of their lungs for it to end.
Huh. Yeah, you'd figure. Thanks for the donation, G. Is it true that testosterone levels were higher 100 years ago? Here people say our ancestors' diets were better, they had more testosterone. There's no data going back that far. I think the earliest data is from, like, the 1960s. Testosterone levels were definitely higher in the 1960s, but there's no data going back that far. If I had to guess, you'd probably see, like, a weird curve, because, like, and it depends on what population you're looking at. If you're looking at wealthy people, yeah, their testosterone is probably higher. If you're looking at poor people, though, their testosterone very likely may be lower. The reason is they did not get good nutrition. Nutritional deficiencies were extraordinarily commonplace when you're talking about the turn of the 20th century, like in the 1900s. The amount of like cases of like rickets that you'd see were just off the fucking charts. So that combined with like a lot of stress, so people would like get sick and die very easily. Like the rates of childhood illness and death were through the fucking roof. People were working like extremely stressful jobs with ridiculous hours where it was very commonplace to not even have one day off work. You just had to show up to work every fucking day. So it depends on what population of people you're looking at, but it wouldn't surprise me if like your average kind of poor person had lower testosterone compared to today. But in the 1960s, where, you know, there's like worker rights and people were working more like sensible fucking jobs and working hours and nutrition was generally much better, like, yeah, that data shows that testosterone levels were in fact higher. Soggy Balls donated.
Boss, is this your chain? I want you to look at it. Don't stop. Keep looking at it. Keep looking.
No. I need to get your side of the story. There's this guy walking around here with a...
I'm not watching this. Thanks for the donation, dude.
You know, VG, I really don't like where this world is headed. It's changing but not for the better. No wonder Christian nut jobs say we are living in the end times.
Well, we'll see. There's ups and downs, Dodo, so we'll just have to see. Expect the worst, hope for the best. Thanks for the donation, though.
I think I remember one of the daughters of the IRGC official actually called in and said the Islamic Republic was begging not only IRGC members but also family members of IRGC members to take guns onto the streets and kill the protesters. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. Hopefully Iran gets clapped. We end up finding out with concrete evidence just how many of the protesters they killed, and it delegitimizes organizations like Code Pink. Thanks for the donation, though, G. Sticks donated $2 that acne is just disgusting. This is the video I was referring to earlier.
And it is impressive.
I don't give two shits about Coach Colton, dude. I don't fucking care. So, I can guarantee you if you go into any commercial gym, good chance about a quarter of the fucking dudes, if not half the dudes in there, are on steroids. And a lot of the times you won't even be able to tell because most people don't have the genetics and don't train hard enough for you to even notice that they're on gear. And dude, the amount of like fucking teenage kids that are using steroids is through the fucking roof. And again, you're not gonna see all these dudes with acne. So, just because there's some, like, weird, retarded fucking kids on social media that are so fucking desperate for attention and social media clout that they're willing to do this stupid horse shit where they take steroids, get a bad reaction, and then they post their acne, and then they see they're getting more attention, and their social media is blowing up. So they keep doing it. You know, for the attention. That does not mean, oh, this is what steroids do. It's just normal. Like, you're just selecting a subset of the population who probably has a genetic propensity for acne, is probably using steroids in a stupid fucking way where they're doing like 500 tests for their first cycle. and then they're blowing up with fucking acne, and then under normal circumstances, they'd probably lower the dose and go on Accutane or something, but because of social media, and because these kids are motivated to like become the next YouTube celebrity, they just keep doing the steroids and keep having the acne problems and keep posting because they want the attention. That is not a fucking like normal fucking like thing that you have to worry about with steroids. So like, I don't care. Coach Colton's a fucking retard. I like, he lies and gaslights all the fucking time. Why are you sending me his stupid videos? I already told you when I was working out, I don't fucking care. He's an idiot. I explained this to you, and you still want me to look. I don't give a shit. Thanks.
Don't need it, it's not therapy. Which brings me to the second reason why I think we are going through a testosterone epidemic and crisis. Steroids. Plain and simple. Testosterone taken that is not needed is not a therapy, it's a steroid. The amount of young men that are now getting on some form of testosterone or performance-enhancing drug is unbelievable. It's so sad, and it is literally going to get worse. The reason is because
This is a beta male bitch take. So if I told you we finally found out how to make Captain America super soldier serum. So Captain America has his superpowers because he took steroids. It's just a highly advanced form of steroids. He only needed to get the injection once, and then he ended up having strength of 10 men. He has super strength. He is immortal. He is immune to all disease, and he has ridiculously super fast Wolverine level healing. So he can get shot, and then like seconds later, the bullet pops out of him. He's totally healed, no scar, nothing. If I told you that exists and you could take it right now, would you say, oh, well, that's not a therapy. That's just performance enhancing. It's sad that we have so many people that are taking Captain America's super soldier serum when they don't have to. Well, like, you'd be laughed at and everybody would think you're a fucking idiot. There's obviously such a huge fucking benefit to taking something like that. Why in the fuck would you have this like weird fucking conception that it's bad to improve your body? Like, it's just stupid. Okay, well, guess what? We have Captain America's super soldier serum right now. The only problem is it won't make you immortal. It won't make you immune to all disease, but it will give you strength beyond what you could naturally have. Not necessarily super strength, but you'll be significantly stronger than what you would naturally be capable of. And if you use the appropriate dose, you're not going to get any like horrible side effects. If you use too high of a dose, yeah, you can shorten your life expectancy or get side effects like acne or whatever. But if you use a mild dose, you're going to get all the benefits, none of the drawbacks. What is the argument against using steroids? So it's the same mindset. I want to improve myself, only you have to use it responsibly, and it doesn't have like the crazy benefits like the Captain America Super Soldier Serum has. So you could consider this like Gen 1, Super Soldier Serum. Then we have to go through several stages to get there. We're just not there technologically yet. We're like 10% of the way there. It's like, why is medicine only considered something that like stops you from being in a disease state? Why isn't medicine looked at something as something that improves yourself? Like if there was a medicine that doubled your life expectancy, you'd be an idiot not to take it. If there was a medicine that made you stronger, you'd be an idiot not to take it. If there was a medicine that let you heal and recover faster from injury, you'd be an idiot not to take it, like assuming there's no like serious side effects. Guess what? Steroids are made for that fucking reason. They increase muscle mass, they improve insulin sensitivity, they increase collagen synthesis and wound healing. Drugs like Anavar are still used and FDA approved for recovery from severe injuries like burns and surgeries. Why wouldn't you take something like oxandrolone, Anavar, if you're recovering from severe burns, if it doubles your rate of healing? like it's just silly. So it's idiotic. Like this whole mindset is just beta male cucked weaklings that are trying to hold you back. If you want to improve yourself, improve yourself. Don't let some idiot shame you and think, that's sad that you want to be better than you are now. Like, is exercise now like a taboo? You know, it's really sad that you're like working out and increasing your muscle mass. You're good just the way you are. Just be weak and more prone to injury and disease. What? Like, fuck these people. It's just stupid.
Truly blame social media. Now, more than ever, we see all of these images, all these people that are ripped, that are jacked, that are using these performance-enhancing drugs, using testosterone.
Oh,
and we think, oh, this is what we need to do.
no.
It's become normalized. And the
Oh,
fact is,
it's so bad. People are like bigger and stronger. Oh, it's so horrible. Like, what the fuck? It's just so retarded. Is there a lethal dose for tests? Maybe the reason why it's banned is because it's easier to take too much and suffer from it. Right. That's why you can buy alcohol over the counter, because it's so safe, right? What's the LD50 for alcohol? Oral LD50, well, that's ethanol. It's not necessarily, what's the edible form of alcohol that's like in, just normal? So blood alcohol concentration above 0.4, generally considered fatal. It's the, like, I don't know, lethal dose of, I don't know, vodka. About half a liter of vodka consumed in 10 to 15 minutes could kill you from alcoholic poisoning. So, yeah, you don't even need to drink that much alcohol. I actually had a friend who almost died from alcohol poisoning because he drank a fuck ton of vodka at a party when I was in high school. So, yeah, that's why alcohol is legal, right? Because it's so safe. Like, testosterone is just so dangerous. That's why alcohol is legal and you can buy it over the counter and you don't need a prescription or doctor supervision or anything. Just stupid. I don't know if there's technically a lethal dose of steroids. Like, you would have, like, I don't even know how it would kill you. I would imagine you'd probably die from just the sheer amount of, like, times you'd have to poke yourself. And it wouldn't even be the steroids. Like, I'm sure if you just kept jabbing yourself in, like, every fucking area of your body with needles, like, eventually you'd die from that, not, like, the actual steroids. So I don't know. Like, it would have to be a ridiculously massive, gargantuan fucking amount, like, to kill you. I don't know if there is, like, an LD50 for any steroid. Natty Cope destroyed or need 220. Young men wanting to be big, strong, sexy. How dare you? Getting shit-faced drunk every weekend. Totally cool, though. Keep sipping your Coronas. Total betas. Peak male existence is found at 2,000 nanograms per deciliter and over. Yeah. Everyone just wants you, like, again, losers try to hold you back from success, right? It's, society is just trying to hold you back. That's all it is. Again, the drugs that are okay make you fat, sick, and stupid. The drugs that are bad, though, that are banned, that everybody tells you not to take, oh, they make you big and strong. Stupid. Thanks for the donation, though, dude.
a lot of people are talking about it like it's no big deal, like it's a protein supplement or a pre-workout. It is not. It is dangerous, detrimental, and ruining your body. Here's the newsflash that people don't talk about. When you take synthetic testosterone and you don't need...
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy. Man, he ruined his body. This guy's over 50 years old, by the way. think he's almost 60 now. Fuck. Yeah, he's 57. So, Mike O'Hearn is 57 years old. This guy has clearly ruined his body from taking steroids. He's 57. If you look at his, history in the fitness industry, he probably started taking steroids in his early 20s. Any day now, it's been over 30 years, but any day now, this guy is just gonna go and die because that's what steroids do, right? Like, just fucking beta male.
Needed. Your body shuts down. Your balls are like, yo, I'm out, I'm done. I don't need to work anymore. And so more men than ever are now experiencing infertility. The reason why you keep hearing about all these IVF journeys, why do you think all of these men are having a difficult time getting their wives or their girlfriends pregnant? It's because the testosterone issue. It's because of the TRT.
No. There's an increase in male infertility because of the same environmental factors that are lowering testosterone. The decrease in testosterone has been completely concordant with the decrease in fertility. And again, you can look at the stats. Steroid users do not have increased rates of infertility compared to the general population. So if you're infertile on steroids, where you are like done, you're producing zero fucking sperm, and no matter what you do, HCG monotherapy and clomiphene, whatever, you cannot get your sperm production up, you would have had infertility issues sans steroids. This guy is just a absolute fucking retard. Forgot my namification to Tiller's lowest source was a gardener. Yeah, it's just a fucking joke, dude. Absolute retard. There's no evidence whatsoever that TRT increases rates of infertility. He's just making shit up.
The thing that you got to understand is that when you get on testosterone, you will never be the same, period. It doesn't matter what anybody says, you won't be. You have to understand that you are doing permanent damage to your body's natural ability to do what it does, which is be amazing. Your body is an incredible, amazing testosterone.
Who cares? Yeah, even if you have permanent shutdown of your ability to produce testosterone, yeah, that's why you're taking testosterone. So, what does that matter? Dodo Tillers, this video is boring. We heard all this before. Can we skip it? We're almost done. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Producing machine if you do what you need to do in order to let it be that. But if you're going to give it synthetic testosterone, your body's going to be like, deuces, I'm out of here. I'm not going to work as hard. And then trying to get your body to...
By the way, this guy is like a skinny fucking beta male manlet who is weak as shit. And then he's like saying steroids bad. Like it is a joke. What was his workout routine?
Sun's out, guns out, which is why I'm...
He had some workout routine video. He's remarkably weak. And he's a small guy. I think he's like 5'4", 5'5" or something. And just super fucking weak and small. And then this dumbass is, yeah, here we go. This is 11 years ago when he was younger.
Grab the other. Now the trick to the squeeze. 10. Stretch.
And
11.
yes, no weight.
Keep your body.
And then let's do some gay beta male fucking push-ups with no
15 when
weight.
you're finished. Evan, you got your dumbbells.
And then 45-pound dumbbells, what my mom uses. I'm not even kidding.
Got your bench. Going right back in.
Yeah, my mom can do this. Yeah, he's using weights my mom uses.
Because guys, that's
Fucking beta male, pathetic, weak retard.
to recover is going to be very difficult, if at all possible. You can literally ruin your ability to produce testosterone for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and we're on testosterone, so why would I care?
And it is an incredible advancement in science. Your body will be amazing, but we're in this. And on top of it, make sure that you're...
Dumbass.
Gross. Guess what the next email is? My boy's wife messaging in, saying we're headed towards you in St. Thomas. Later, the subject line, Jeffrey Epstein. Good morning, Howard. Jeffrey wished me to pass you along. Nice seeing you. They clearly met, and the guy is just lying about it to your face, to the American public's face, and they tried to hide it from us. I cannot emphasize this enough. They're lying through their teeth. You think this guy perfectly remembers a 2005, like walking in the guy's house? I remember exactly what I said to him. My wife and I looked at each other, and he wouldn't remember the 2012. I boated over to his private island for a dinner. Is that what we're really thinking? Is that what we're expected to believe? This is a momentary lapse in his judgment. No, these guys don't even care about being consistent. And they're all throwing each other under the bus. Don't you remember Elon Musk saying, the time to drop the really big bomb, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they haven't been made public. My guy, you also are in the Epstein files, very clearly doing stuff you lied about, okay? So is Howard Lutnick, who says, yeah, Bill Gates, he's probably getting blackmailed because he participated. What did you do on the island over in 2012, Howard? Do we know that? I mean, does anyone care? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is some of the most explosive stuff. It's also, again, I have to say, unverified, okay? This is the NTOC, the FBI's National Threat Operation
Gummy is having some crazy zoomies.
Center. And the challenge with confirming some of this is that these are anonymous tips, or they black them out at least, so we don't know who they are, and anyone can drop a tip. Now, that doesn't mean that you should disregard them. It just means we can't verify them. The other challenge is that the FBI has a heavy incentive to discredit anything with Donald Trump in it, just because he's in the White House right now, obviously. And so I want to be clear, there are notes related to some of these submissions where they say things like complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate redacted. You know, it's hard.
Does TRT cause skin to turn red? Is it from high RBC count? Is it bad? It's not really. Like, it depends. If you have a really elevated hematocrit, you might have more reddish skin. Elevated hematocrit's fine. It's not bad for you.
Hard to tell how much this is the proper due.
Not everyone gets elevated hematocrit from using testosterone or any anabolic steroid. Like, I was on Boldenone too. 350 test, 200 Boldenone. My hematocrit actually went down compared to when I was only on 200 test. It only went down slightly. It went from like, what, 48 to like 47 or something. And like Boldenone is known for promoting increased red blood cell count and like more than testosterone, and it didn't do anything to me.
Due diligence of the FBI, which they should be doing, of course, and not all complaints are credible. But also there's this obvious conflict of interest with the fact that the sitting president is in some of these complaints. But here they are for what it's worth. Complaint summary. Blank.
Okay. I have to put my bowl away because Gummy's being an asshole. Yeah, you're a dickhead.
Working for the city token in a big group, not doing nothing. Getting paid more than $20 an hour.
Earlier, they said they found 3 bodies. Yeah. It's so sad.
Okay. As it turns out, the warmth of collectivism is actually pretty cold during winter. Okay, thanks for the donation. I don't know what any of that is, but thanks.
Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform on President Trump.
Yeah. Don't poke my nipple. Such a good baby. That's a good baby. Is Hussein Farhat natural in your opinion? Well, he is now. I don't know if he's a lifetime natty.
Approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend also said she was abused by Epstein. Later, there's very explosive claims about big parties with her, other younger girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. There's claims third hand about a female victim of Epstein's who wants to publish a book citing Leslie Wexner, Epstein, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. And it goes on like this for a while. Some of the complaints are just like very graphic, and obviously I'm gonna censor out some of it. But I should also mention that
Sarah McLaughlin donators, is this Billy Zane drives a Rolls? In this, Billy Zane drives a Rolls Royce.
And the necklace. Good luck, Jack. She eats a lot.
You husband and wife. You may now disappoint the bride.
This is our beautiful house, darling. And this is our bedroom.
Yeah, like that would ever happen.
I mean, what's the most you guys ever bench press?
I think Mike, yeah.
Titanic is such a stupid fucking movie.
That's like 435, like naturally.
You guys have some of the best chest, and that is from bench pressing. If you ever watch my videos, I never suggest bench press. I think it's the worst exercise you can do. Everyone tears their pec on it. Everyone has a shoulder injury eventually because you get so strong.
Yeah, I've got torn my labrum, torn my chest, so I don't even bench anymore.
I mean, what's the most you guys...
Okay, thanks for the donation, dude.
The DOJ claims that some of these claims were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had any shred of credibility, they would have certainly been weaponized against President Trump already. Now, I agree that if a complaint is timed right before an election, there definitely could be some other motivations to that, but it's also ridiculous to say that anything in the Epstein files, if it were true, would have come out already, because why didn't we see the stuff about Bill Gates, for example? I mean, that stuff apparently has been sitting in here for a long time. And not only did no one talk about it, the FBI literally covered for it. I mean, they said that this was not the case. There are big claims against a lot of powerful people. Nobody in that file really wants to rock the boat or release the files because then they get in trouble and their buddies get in trouble. And that's a huge problem. So I don't really buy the idea that, oh, if it were true, it would have already gotten out. I don't buy that. That's why we need transparency. That's why it's important these files are out. But this is just to look at a small fraction of the files. And over the next few weeks, we're going to go through all of the major findings we can from this 3.5 million page document dump. But seriously, think about how discrediting this has been, not only to this administration, but to so many rich and powerful people who have lied through their teeth happily towards you in order to hide their relationship with this man that many of them held post-guilty plea. And some of them, now we know, Epstein prepared blackmail for them and, according to reports, threatened.
Well,
This video.
yes. Plot thickens, and this cat is very loudly grooming himself while lying on me. Feels very weird while he's doing this. It's kind of distracting. Oh. Yeah, I love you. Mm-hmm. Don't try to bite me. What the fuck are you doing? You're like a fuzzy potato. Do you guys see this? Oh, my big potato. You're very cuddly. How come you're so cuddly?
Today's matchup is between the King of Turk, Greg Doucette, and modest Mike Israetel. A man who in his own mind is bigger and stronger than Mike Mensa and more intelligent than Albert Einstein. Now, both these manlets have previously competed in powerlifting. However, Mike Israetel only competed as a junior lifter, meaning his official competition numbers don't fully represent his peak strength. That brings us to their best gym lifts, starting with the squat. Greg has hit training sessions in the region of 250 kilograms for 5 reps, and sometimes even heavier. However, all of his training used box squats and sometimes banded. Greg's heaviest...
That's not really a true box squat. It looks like he's just using that to judge depth. It's not like an actual box squat. He's not like sitting down on it.
What without these accessories is this 260 kilogram competition lift.
Up, that a boy.
Mike's best on video is this raw squat of 255 kilograms for 2 reps, performed with better depth and at a lower RPE.
World maxed.
In theory, that provides a 1 rep max of 262 kilograms, and when you factor Mike's cleaner technique and lower perceived effort, he comfortably takes the opening round. Up next, the bench press. Mike's best bench on video is this set of 166 kilograms or 365 pounds for 8 touch and go reps. But here, Greg is arguably operating in a different league, managing a massive 204 kilograms, and although Greg is wearing elbow sleeves, his elbow flexion limits any meaningful advantage. Which brings us to the final round, the deadlift. Mike's best deadlift is 250 kilograms for 5 reps, pulled from a 5 centimeter deficit. Greg, on the other hand, generally pulls...
Yeah, Ryback's a bitch. Just fucking jackass. Oh my god, look at Gummy. Do you guys see this? Look at this cat. Do you guys see that cat? It's being a sleepy kitty. Oh my goodness. That is a nice, handsome boy.
using a sumo stance, and under those conditions he overwhelms Mike with a best of 311 kilograms for 6 touch-and-go reps. However, because of the different techniques involved, that wouldn't be a fair comparison. So instead we look at Greg's best conventional deadlift on video, which is this set of 241 kilograms for 8 reps. Based on these performances, the calculated 1 rep max comes out to 299 kilograms for Greg and 281 for Mike. However, considering that Mike's deadlift was pulled from a deficit, the fairest result is a draw. Before you decide, 2 final details. At the time of these lifts, Greg weighed 93 kilograms and was enhanced, while Mike weighed 118 and claimed to be natural.
Pretty sure he wasn't natural there with the deadlift.
Now pause the video and drop a comment below. Who was actually...
I'm pretty sure, like, the story is he just started doing steroids when he was doing this shit.
Considering that Mike's deadlift was pulled from a deficit, Greg weighed 90, Mike weighed 100.
Like, this guy's such a liar.
118 and claimed to be natural. Now pause the video and drop a comment below. Who was actually stronger? Thanks.
I'd say Greg, because Mike's just a fucktard. Mafia crypto.
Hello and welcome.
Slavery.
He's helped.
I'm gonna dive into all this, but accusing me of taking steroids is wild, bro.
I didn't say you're on testosterone. Does bro look like he's... I've talked to him in private in the past, and I like his channel. Only he decides to post his blood work, but only shows his testosterone.
Guys, I got some lab work back. I'm at 1,000 nanograms per deciliter in testosterone. I am alpha. I am alpha because I hang out with alpha stripper. Yeah, that's a bad call. Yeah, guys, you know, one thing. Okay, I just talked to Bradley Martin on his podcast about like what maybe made go from 847 to 1,000. I think it's all the blue light shit. Yeah, those circadian biology stuff. Bro, at night I'm crazy at my house. Like we're gonna cook ourselves these lights, but you know, most nights I'm really good. And like I do the blue light blockers. And like the dude on our podcast even said he puts on like long sleeve and sweatshirts at night because like the the photoreceptors.
The blue light blocking shit is just pseudoscience nonsense. Doesn't do anything. No, I am not much of a casino person.
That's real. In the morning I try to get as many clothes off.
Yeah, then I get out in the sun in the morning and we get on stripper poles.
Yeah, he's trying to be funny, alpha, I get it. But notice how his original blood work showed his testosterone levels were in the 800s. FYI, it's higher than mine and I'm on HRT. And so like any good Samaritan, I write a comment and say, you're a very smart man. You must know that just showing your testosterone levels doesn't prove that you're natural. I have lower testosterone levels than you. And if I show only my testosterone levels, you might think that I'm natural. They're at 830. Remember, you can go to AlgaRx. You can use code Greg for 10% off. You get your blood work done. You can get prescribed clofafine, testosterone, Cialis, Viagra, Talmosartan, peptides. The list goes on and on. But that's besides the point. I was teaching you how to know when somebody's a fake natty or not. And so I had no proof.
Why?
I simply was asking for the extra blood work in order to show this, because oftentimes if people leave things out, LH, FSH, estradiol, the list goes on and on, they might be trying to leave something out. When I saw he went from in the 800s, which is already very high, and he's a young, athletic, fit man, and it suddenly jumped up to over 1,000, what was screaming at me was that bro is on enclomiphene, but rather than that, he says it's the blue light. You know, it's the blue lights. I mean, not to mention the fact that his SHBG was already over 70, that it's extremely high. My opinion, I was 99% sure that he was on enclomiphene, but I needed the rest of the blood work to back that shit up. And so what does he do? Well, instead of taking the video down or instead of just posting the blood work, he makes a video and gaslights me. He says, Greg said I'm on steroids, that I'm on testosterone. I said no such things, specifically enclomiphene. Enclomiphene is not testosterone and it's not a steroid. And so essentially he's lying about what I said in order to make him look innocent. I stick with what I'm saying. When somebody shows one part of a test and not the other, they're usually covering for something. And so when testosterone goes from being very high to very, very high without showing anything, it's most likely they're taking enclomiphene. And of course they could be taking testosterone, things like that, but most likely it's enclomiphene. And so if you're actually trying to show that you're natural and brag about how your testosterone levels are high, and by the way, it's not a flex to have higher levels of testosterone because you're not even showing your free testosterone. you got to show everything. If you're trying to prove natty status, you got to show the rest of the blood work martyrs so that other people like me can look at it and say, yeah, it actually shows that you're natural. And so why waste? And by the way, it's not too late to take this video down or to re-upload it and show the rest of the blood work. And so notice how I said martyr. I believe he's being a martyr for other fake natties because he's going to be going down for this. Let us show the actual blood work. Remember, I said, why not show the LH and FSH to give us an idea? Because remember, if it's very, very low, bro's probably on testosterone, which is not what I suspected. I suspected enclomiphene. How many of you agree with me? Does bro look like he's on test? Does he look like he's on steroids? He looks natural. And so what would be the likely cause of his blood work having testosterone levels of over 1,000 when they were already very high, over 800 suddenly? Was it more likely blocking blue light, getting up and looking at the sunshine in the morning? What is he, the liver king? Or enclomiphene? I mean, when Andrew Eubanks, Alex, when he showed his testosterone levels in the 900s suddenly, and I said it's enclomiphene, y'all looked at me and said, oh, how do you know? The blood work shows it. And so what are we going to see in his blood work? Are we going to see perfect blood work, LH and FSH of that of somebody normal? Or will something be out of range?
Man, I woke up this morning to Greg Doucette, someone I always have admired, calling me a fake natty.
If I pause it right there, should he not take that as a compliment? I mean, if he was actually natural, he should take it as a compliment. I mean, what would Hussein Farhat do? Oh, there's no way he's natural. Proceeds to show the blood work, proves that he's natural. What does Santa Cruz do? He can't handle it. Proceeds to show the blood work, proves he's not natural. You see the difference? Well, in your eyes, you're thinking, no, Hussein, you're lying, you're covering for him. Why would I do that? I look at the blood work, Hussein's natural. His blood work, not natural. Forget about the physiques. Just because Hussein has more muscle than Santa Cruz doesn't mean that Santa's natural.
And he's like, show your LH and FSH.
Immediately, do you see that there's the LH in the red? Out of range. Supra-physiological, too high. Why do you think that is? Do you not think that the enclomiphene maybe, just maybe, caused it to go too high in a healthy young male with a lot of muscle? Why would it appear to be this way?
Oh, it's overtraining, it's doing this, it's doing that.
And FYI, the FSH, 11.9, the top end of the range is 12.8. That is still very high. Although it's not ridiculously high, it's still very high. If you look at these two numbers together as a whole, it paints the picture that bro is using enclomiphene. It's as simple as that. Now, there is a second possibility, although rare. He may in fact be ovulating, but last I checked, bro is actually a man, not a woman. And so unless he's somehow bi, gender, ordinary, whatever the terms you can say, I don't think he's a woman.
Like this, I make a joke video because I know there's way more to blood work than just...
I love how this dork is like, vegan diets are feminizing and you build so much more muscle eating meat. And then this guy is very likely taking clomiphene to boost his testosterone. And he's not even, like, muscular. I've seen this guy's workouts. He trains like a fucking bitch. Probably had, like, more muscle mass than this guy when I was, like, out of high school. It's just so retarded. This guy is getting fucking mogged hard, and it's just all cope.
That number, but I'm like, this is cool. And then I get more results in throughout the day, and I'm like, oh man, my SHBG is a little high.
With this next post, SHBG, you see that red square where it says 54? That's high. And you know what can cause SHBG to be high? Well, enclomiphene increases estradiol, estradiol raises SHBG, and these are the results. Now, one thing I noticed is he's typically on a paleo diet. He's a diet lower in carbs. That can increase SHBG, but when you're on this low-carb diet, you typically would see a decline in testosterone levels, and so that wouldn't explain it. And so if you guys are out there...
I think there's a formula you can use to determine free testosterone by plugging in total test and SHBG.
Fuck.
Damn it. Damn. I dropped a gummy. Oh, you have to plug in albumin.
Sitting there thinking, oh, Coach Greg doesn't know what he's saying. Oh, he's probably just athletic. He's probably overtrained. He's on a low-carb diet. None of that explains this in unison. In the totality of his blood work, that's what paints the story. The story being he isn't natural, that he's taking enclomiphene. Or you can just believe him and think it's the blue light. whatever you want. Remember when Joel from TNF, he did that experiment where he had the very low protein diet, he was eating more carbs? Notice his testosterone levels went through the roof, well over 1,000. If you're going to put this on his diet or his training, what you're going to notice is a decline in his free testosterone, and that did not occur.
You know, my free test is pretty good, solid, but I think I could improve on it.
Another thing he could be showing is his IGF-1 levels. If that were below the 50th percentile, say he's
His free test is 98.1 picograms per mil. So it's like right in the middle of the reference range. What's the... Here we go. Oh, that's so annoying. Give me a second. You're gonna laugh at this. So this was my free testosterone the last time I got it checked. So his is 98 picograms, or sorry, yeah, 98.1 picograms per mil. My free test was 5,432. That's picomoles per liter. Let me just convert that. So that's 1,566 picograms per mil. So I'm at over 1,500 picograms per mil. And he's at 98. Like, why in the fuck wouldn't you just take testosterone? But yeah, here I am.
Solid, but I think I could improve on it.
Another thing he could be showing is his IGF-1 levels. If that were below the 50th percentile, say he's at the 40th percentile, that would further support the use of enclomiphene. Now, what if it came back through the roof? Would that say he's not on enclomiphene? Well, actually, no, because he could be on enclomiphene, which lowers his IGF-1 levels, but at the same time be taking IGF-1. And so when you look at blood work, it's not some simple little task. You look at one marker and you make a conclusion. It's based on the bones. It's all based on the bones. And so what I'd further like to see is his level of estradiol. If it's through the roof, really, really high, most likely he's taking enclomiphene. And so you can see, every picture matters.
This is the thing, Greg. I've never taken a steroid a day in my life. I've never taken TRT.
Did I say he took a steroid? Did I say he took HRT? Or did I very specifically say enclomiphene? And so let's not gaslight me.
I'm somebody who's like, oh, like, I need to work on some things. I obviously have some stuff in my blood work that I need to improve on a little bit.
Consider this. This is not the blood work of somebody that needs to start optimizing things. There's nothing bad here. There's nothing per se that's ruining your life. You analyze your physique. Are you healthy? Do you feel good? Do you look good? Do you perform well? Clearly, you're doing jiu-jitsu. You have energy.
I'm snacking on Smart Sweet gummies. It's the Smart Sweet Tropical Sours. They're very good.
Amazing. And so why would you need to try to optimize in the first place? You're already optimal. Your testosterone levels were in the 800s. Never needed to use enclomiphene. Try to remember this. Don't fix what ain't broke. There's no reason to start using radical interventions because most likely they can make things end up worse.
Sometimes, man, like I deal with my own stress and issues and anxiety by training.
Appeal to sympathy. Wah. I train too much because of my anxiety, and so then, oh, Coach Greg's a hater, he has anxiety, he needs to do all kinds of cardio, or he's not healthy. I raced 79 kilometers yesterday. I'm in an 8-day stage race, training every single day, and anxiety, no anxiety, everyone has anxiety. And so stop making up excuses in order to say that I'm wrong about this analysis. You're the one that posted your testosterone, you're the one who bragged, you're the one that said, I'm alpha, and the commenters are, oh, Greg got it wrong. How did it age now, guys? And how alpha is it, really, to say, oh, I have anxiety and I need to do cardio to reduce my anxiety, and oh, poor big bag wolf Coach Greg, he made a video about me. That doesn't sound very alpha. And so again, proof that the level of testosterone that you have does not make you alpha or beta. There are girls who are more alpha than this with testosterone levels 20 times lower than yours. I'm just imagining our ancestors 4,000 years ago.
Oh, you know, I'm having some anxiety today. I can't go out and hunt a bear. Sorry, wife and kids, you're going to starve.
What do you mean you have anxiety? You're going to go out and hunt that bear. I don't care if it kills you. And so, guys, stop it already. It's 2025. We need to actually be men.
Whether it be, you know, on the assault bike, whether it be at jiu-jitsu, and I get a bit overtrained, and I need to improve on bouncing that and probably optimizing more sleep.
I'm so alpha, I'm going to go and train and get my blue belt in jiu-jitsu so that I can choke out people because I have anxiety and I need to get more sleep and I need to make sure that I don't have any blue light on my face and body at night and suntan my ball sack in order to get more testosterone levels. Can we not just live our lives?
I'm going to dive into all this, but accusing me of taking steroids is wild, bro.
I didn't say you're on testosterone. Does bro look like he's on testosterone? If bro is on testosterone, even if he had no muscle, his LH and FSH would be in the toilet just like mine because I'm on HRT. I know what HRT blood work looks like.
I don't know, man. I'm really open with all this stuff, and I probably will get on TRT or roids when I'm older.
That sounds like the mindset of somebody who would be willing to use enclomiphene right now. I mean, do you not remember Alex Eubank? How did he first start? I made a video, likely on enclomiphene, testosterone levels suddenly in the 900s. What happened a few months later? Bro's on HRT. Exhibit B.
But I have never done that stuff at all, and my body is so normal. I'm not on any roids. I'm not. And I'm not going to go like the Liver King method and lie to people, ever.
So the thing with lying is it's not black or white. There's withholding the truth, withholding the evidence. You never lied. You said, look at my testosterone levels, 1,007. I'm alpha. You never said you were natural. You just posted your blood work. But you failed to post the entirety of the blood work. And by proxy, people are looking at that and thinking, oh, bro just has naturally elevated testosterone levels, you know, from the blue light. And so
Kenny,
what does
up?
then people do? They start purchasing these blue light blockers and so on, when the real reality of it is to get testosterone levels like this.
The blue light shit is it's just cringe. It wouldn't surprise me if he started doing it because he's selling some blue light bullcrap. There's absolutely no science supporting it whatsoever. Like, this guy is the most cringe fucktard ever.
When you're in the 800s, probably going to need enclomiphene, of which you can get at Algo RX. I never said there's anything wrong with what you're doing. I just don't like the withholding of the truth. And so you never lied. You just never told the entire story. It would be like if I made a video and said, hey guys, I'm on 140 milligrams of testosterone a week. Look what it's done. Check out the biceps. And I don't tell you that I'm on insulin, growth hormone, IGF-1, and the list goes on and on. If that were actually true, am I being honest? Am I being honest with you? I'm on 140 milligrams of test a week. That part's honest. But if I withhold everything else that I'm taking, then that's not being honest. And guess what? I'm not taking those other things. And so that is a person who's being honest. If I started to take, for example, retatrutide, tirzepatide, Ozempic, various drugs to help suppress my appetite in order to stay this lean, and I don't tell you about it, and I say I'm only on 140 milligrams of test a week, that to me would be being dishonest. It wouldn't be lying per se, but it would be withholding information, which is what you did. And so I'm not taking any of these things, and if I were, I would just simply tell you. And so if Santa Cruz were to be more honest, he could say, hey,
Yes, this is a cat.
guys, look, my testosterone levels went up. I purchased enclomiphene in low doses, and I'm feeling amazing. Here's my total blood work. You see how my LH and FSH is a little bit higher? That's from the enclomiphene. Notice my SHBG, it's out of the range. I'm working on that. I'm going to perhaps start eating more carbs and stop being on moronic diets for cardiovascular athletes. And it would get better. And perhaps your free testosterone, the testosterone you're actually going to use, would be higher than 100. And so the reason why enclomiphene is beneficial for guys like Santa Cruz is because he has a diet-induced suppression of his testosterone levels because his glycogen stores are too low. Bro is doing a lot of cardio, which is great. I encourage it. There's nothing wrong with this. I do a lot of cardio. We don't have to get into gaslighting and saying that somebody said this or said that. Bro is doing a lot of cardio. He's not eating enough carbs. He has a certain diet that he likes, and using enclomiphene is going to help his testosterone levels. And so in case you're wondering, when your glycogen levels are depleted, so for example, after a 2-hour bike race, your cortisol is going to spike, which can result in lower levels of testosterone. I don't have to worry about that because I'm on HRT. If I was on enclomiphene, also, it solves that problem. Now, I'm not telling you to take enclomiphene. I'm not telling you to go on HRT. But if you do think that you need it, your doctor thinks you need it.
Long days of cardio where I do like 2 or 3 things. I love doing days where I go to jiu-jitsu, I surf, and then sometimes, bro, honestly, like the days where I'm like stressed, I'll like get on the assault bike, and that's way too much in one day.
I like how these guys claim to do so much cardio. Do they all realize that I literally have a bike team? It's called Harder Than Last Time. And so some guys, for example, on this team, they're riding for 6 hours doing 300 watts. And that is about 1,000 calories per hour. They're burning off 6,000 calories in a day.
Just noticed. Does he have What pets does he have? There's like some weird hamster cage here, and then there's like a big cage that's like for a dog or something.
Than last time. And so some guys, for example, on this team, they're riding for 6 hours doing 300 watts, and that is about 1,000 calories per hour. They're burning off.
Do you guys see this damn cat?
6,000 calories in a day. I was just talking to Hayden Pucker. He's actually an HTLT athlete, and he goes by the name Farm Watts, as in he can farm a lot of watts. He's one of 2 people in the entire world who can do 500 watts for an hour. I can do 500 watts for at most 3 minutes. He's doing it for an hour. So this morning, he decides to ride 45 kilometers up a 10% hill on Zwift. It only takes him an hour and 45 minutes. It would take me about 3 hours. And after that, for fun, doing some cardio, he's riding 100 miles. That's 161 kilometers. After riding for 2 hours, another 100 miles. And then said, is there something you want me to do in the afternoon? Hey, can I ride with you later? After riding all friggin' morning, perhaps 5-6 hours.
That is not normal. Not normal at all.
Hours at very high intensities. I said, how do you fuel your body? Well, during the ride, I consumed 721 grams of sugar. They're trying to find ways to eat enough calories. These are actual cardiovascular athletes. I'm talking world class. And so showing up to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for an hour and going surfing isn't so hard on your body. Oh my God, you need performance-enhancing drugs. What is helping fuel the farm watts?
Well, you might. Not everybody is like some genetic freak. And I mean the GO2 max thing, like, give me a fucking break. There's a reason why Lance Armstrong was taking like test Boldenone HGH to get his hematocrit through the fucking roof and recover from all the training he's doing, and not taking some like stupid over-the-counter supplement like GO2 max. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. It's just so stupid. We have drugs that work, and then he's like, yeah, take this bullshit. High school prank kills mom of 4.
Was this an accident? There's always 2 sides of every
I'm not liking this.
I don't like this from day one.
I don't like it either.
Neither does the family I don't like either.
Excuse me, I know that. I have felt very bad about that. That is sickening to me. And I have even said this is a horrible thing, that for you to sit here and say that he had something to do with this. I feel really bad for this lady that's gone and her family. And this is not good to do to our family. This is going to rip my family apart. I'm going to lose my job. I love that boy more than anything.
Tammy, I know.
Monday, September 2nd, 2019. It's Labor Day in Logan, Ohio, and 44-year-old photographer Victoria Schaefer is taking advantage of the beautiful day at Hocking Hills State Park to capture 6 high school students for their senior portraits. Schaefer has just finished taking the photos and is walking back up the staircase when the students hear an unforgettable, loud cracking sound. When they look back, Schaefer is in a heap on the staircase, not moving. Lying nearby is a large log that must have tumbled from the cliff above. The crack they heard was the log landing on Schaefer's head. One of the students runs up the staircase to grab her cell phone.
911, where's your emergency? Okay, take a breath. You're at Old Man's Cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time is now approximately 11:29.
44 feet away from the cliff, nowhere near the edge, and certainly not close enough that they could roll off on their own.
What we believe is here, located in this section, is where the approximately 6-foot log was located at, which you can still kind of see where the log was located with discoloration, or it's been there for quite some time.
They begin to form the theory that someone must have moved the log from the pile over to the cliff.
From there, it was carried over approximately about where Nicole and Rose is at, where they're getting ready to go off the side. They're going to do a exact measurement from the edge down to where the female deceased was found.
Death is suspicious, and they call in homicide investigators from the Hocking County Sheriff's Office. Hocking Hills is a popular
falling down and hitting Miss Schrafer. I didn't know about this until this morning on the bus when told me, but she had.
I'm one of the investigators from the Sheriff's Office. I'll check with you too.
Yeah. So you wrecked your scooter?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that happened?
Yeah. I think
what day it was, but I know it's in like September. So it was last month. Me and my friends were.
I know you're nervous and you're going to get it all out, and that's great. We want you to get it all out. Just let me finish up a few things right here, and we'll let you talk as much as you want to talk.
Nothing really happened.
The detectives finish reading Jordan his rights, then they get down to business.
Obviously, you're ready to start rambling. Let us, talk. You want to hear? Well, we're wanting to listen, so spill it.
Well, so that day, me and my friends, I don't know if you guys want me to give you their names or not.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Jaden Churches was with me. Miranda Spencer, and I don't know his last name.
How old are they?
Miranda is 19, Jaden is 16 or 17. I know he's his junior. We were just walking around, bored. So we were like, let's go on a hike, and we just went on a hike.
Where'd you hike at?
You know when you go down, you cross the bridge, and you go up?
There's some allegations been brought against you.
What were they?
Well, you was there. You confirmed that you was there. Yeah. We knew that you was there. So there's more to this story. Tell us about the branch being up on top.
Well, that I didn't do anything. Like I just don't like snitching on people. That's the problem.
Now, Jordan's story starts to change.
This is the time.
I know.
This is not about snitching. This is about telling the truth.
Yeah, all they have to do is just keep their mouths shut, but, everyone's a fucking retard.
And telling the truth gets you farther than not telling the truth.
So me and Jaden walked all the way farther down, like clear to the end, not where the metal bridge is. This guy did say that to us, but we did end up going back down. But I skipped a part of what we did. We walked all the way down to the end of this, and Jaden kicked off a branch. Not a branch, it was a log. It was a big log, like probably this wide, this long, and he kicked it, and it rolled off the cliff, and it made a loud bang, so we ran. I don't know if I wasn't like paying attention to what he was doing, so I don't know if he intentionally kicked it or if he like stumbled on it.
Did he pick it up first and carry it?
No. He didn't pick it up at all, not that I saw.
How did he get on the other side of the tree?
I have no idea.
Based on what the witness told them, the investigators know Jordan is lying, and soon his story begins to fall apart.
You've been following this on TV?
Following what?
This story on TV. Have you seen anything on TV? Social media?
I haven't seen anything about it.
Nothing. You don't even know what happened that day?
No, I just didn't acknowledge any of it.
You didn't acknowledge anything?
Yeah, I just didn't think anything of it.
So you know what happened?
Not really.
You had no idea?
Not really.
So when you sent a text to your girlfriend at the time?
I mean, yeah, I knew what happened, but I didn't know.
Yeah, this kid's lying about everything. What a fucking idiot. They don't even have to say anything to the police. Just say, I'm just going to invoke my right to remain silent. Just fucking retarded.
Oh, what happened to cause that? Like, completely what happened. Like, I was there with my friends, but I wasn't the one that did it. And I know that it killed the woman when it fell down on her. And I heard the loud bang, and I saw Jaden run, and I was running with Jaden.
So why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you do anything?
Because I was freaking out, and I thought I was going to get in trouble for it.
Okay.
And I didn't want to get charges pressed against me for like involuntary manslaughter or something.
So you have researched this?
No, I just know a lot because I've been in trouble with cops before, and it's not fun. So I tried to not even deal with it at all.
So you just want to
Dude, that was a huge 6-foot log. Like, he's lying about what fucking happened.
block it out?
Yeah, basically. Act like it never happened.
Jordan's lies tumble out one by one, but nothing gets past the investigators.
You and Jaden talked any more about this?
Nope.
You guys didn't make a pact and say, we got to keep this a secret?
Well, yeah, we did say that. That's why I told you that story. But then after I realized the severity of it, I could get in a lot more trouble for his actions if I'm the one not doing anything. Because I was tipped off already that this was going to happen, but I didn't. Someone told me that told you guys about all this, so I kind of knew what it was about. So I kind of texted Jaden and was like, dude, something's going to happen. We're going to get caught. I said, I don't know what you want me to say, but I'm not getting in trouble for you. I said I won't tell them, but if they ask me, I'm not going to completely lie and get myself in trouble. And then he said, okay, I'm not really worried about it.
At this point, the school has brought Jaden Churchhouse and his mother into another room to wait while they talk to Jordan.
So, when you guys talk to Jaden, he's probably going to come in here and plead the fifth.
So what's pleading the fifth?
Like, he might not say anything. He might say
no. It wouldn't be plead the fifth. It'd be just choosing to remain silent.
So I'll say this was you that did it.
Pleading the fifth is just something you do when you don't want to give information that could incriminate you. That's a different thing.
No, he won't say that because he knows I didn't do it.
He's in trouble. Why wouldn't he say that you did it?
I don't know. If he says I did it, I'll be like, no, I did not do that.
Did Jaden say he did it?
Yeah, Jaden's told me that he did it before.
What did the girl say?
Yeah, he said that in front of me.
Okay, so the girl would say...
He said I already caught a body by the age of 16. So he more thought of it as funny.
He said what?
I already got a body at the age of 16.
You think this is funny?
I don't think it's funny. I think that's the only reason why I'm telling you all this, because I think it's serious. It's very serious. Someone lost their life for someone being stupid and messing around.
After talking to Jordan for nearly an hour, the detectives leave. Jordan seems unbothered while he waits. When the investigators come back in, Jordan wants to show them what he was wearing that day. He tells them he and Jaden took a selfie while they were at the park, but they noticed something unsettling about the photo.
Was that before or after?
That was after he did it.
Their day was so eventful, it would seem, that they wanted to remember it with a selfie. Then, as Jordan is showing the detectives where he was standing when Jaden kicked the log over the ledge, he says something even more disturbing.
I have to say something because this is just I was just being retarded. I told that I did do this with him, but I did not. I was just trying to act cool in front of her because I thought it was cool, but it's not after I realized the severity of it. And
you know what police want to get you?
Charges.
Charged with murder.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If it comes down to it, I would literally take a lie detector
Yeah, so he probably did it.
test for this. Like, if you guys do not believe me, I will 100% take a lie detector test, and I 100% will prove to you that I had nothing to do with it, and I did not kick or touch that log.
Why didn't you stand and say something?
Because I don't know. I was freaked out about it because I thought it was just all going to go away and everybody would have forgot about it.
You're going to forget about a death?
No. I don't know.
You ever see what a woman looks like with her head bashed open?
No.
Do you want to see it?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Irresponsible act.
I know.
4 kids without a mom. Husband without a wife. Grow up. It's time to grow up right now.
Did you touch that log?
Wow. Wow, this kid is stupid. Holy shit, he's dumb.
Come on.
Give me a second. When I was standing in front of him, he said...
Wait a minute. Before you answer, I'm going to tell you something. You know what DNA is?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I know what DNA is. So I touched the log to move it out of the area. But
to move it out of the area.
To move it, it was right in between these trees, and he pushed it out. And then I helped him push it out, but he kicked it down. I didn't kick it. So I did touch the log.
So you helped him?
No, I didn't know he was going to kick it off.
But
I helped him pull it out, yeah.
Around 2:20 p.m., detectives get word that Jordan's mom, who had been notified at work that her son is being interviewed by police, is on the phone in the school resource office, and they head there to let her know what's going on.
Were you a part of it, Jordan?
I didn't, push it off. but I moved the log with him. I pulled it out. I didn't know he was going to kick it off, though.
But a woman died. Why did you not tell Chris and I this?
Because I freaked out, Mom. I freaked out.
It doesn't matter. I've taught you to do right, Jordan. A woman lost her life and you knew it. Always coming first is what you do.
As Jordan's mom makes her way to the school, back in the conference room, Jordan makes an offer.
If I get permission from my parents, could you guys take me there and let me show you everything that happened? Like to Old Man's Cave and me take you there. Can I do that? I would much rather do that because I can clearly explain everything that happened in perfect detail, and I will tell you everything.
We can
do that. I think that's a good idea.
Before they leave the school, they want to talk to Jaden, but investigators have one more question for Jordan.
What do you think would happen? You know there's trails throughout. People walk trails.
Yeah.
You know, Hocking Hills has 3.5 million visitors a year.
Yeah.
So what's the odds that you think somebody's underneath that edge right now? Not right this second, but back here. What's the odds?
Pretty high.
Pretty high.
But
how high?
Probably like 60-70% that someone's probably going to be right there. Because there was a good bit of people there that day.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah, it was.
Probably couldn't find a parking place.
No, it was packed.
So you know it was packed.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was going to throw it off. Like, I swear on everything, I had no idea he was going to throw it off.
They collect a DNA swab from Jordan and make plans to bring him back to the park later that day. Next, they bring Jaden and his mother into the conference room, and Jaden's mom is already fired up.
I was in a good mood when I got here. I sat in here for 2 hours.
Yeah, we're sorry.
You're in there.
Are you kidding me? I've been sitting in there for 2 hours waiting on you guys.
Oh, we were busy doing something.
I know.
That's why, yeah. So
I gotta be
if
at work in 15
If I do
minutes.
that,
But Jordan,
Why in the fuck wouldn't these people refuse to interview the police and get a lawyer? It's just so fucking retarded. Like, I do not understand why people do this. They're just so out of their minds stupid. Like, they really do deserve to be in jail and have their lives ruined. It's like, not only do they, like, fuck somebody else's life up, but they're, like, so fucking stupid. They can't even, like, just make logical, self-interested decisions.
He's my friend. What's Jordan, though? I know a lot of Jordans.
Gum.
Buckler.
I mean, he's a great under me, and I hung out with him before. He rides scooters with me sometimes.
It quickly becomes clear Jaden has no intention of telling the detectives what happened that day.
Well, Jaden, you know, we've been beating around the bush, and I'm just going to get straight to it. There was an incident at Hocking Hill State Park. I know that you was there on September 2nd. Am I right?
Yes, I was there.
Okay. Tell me about that day.
We pulled up, and we were about to go hike and go down and look around. And then some dude comes running past. And he's like, somebody just got hit with something. And we think she's dead. So we're like, what? And we turn around and we leave because we don't even want to go down there and see it or anything. And then once we're walking out, there's like ambulances pulling up and all this. And
It's funny, he doesn't even know his friend ratted out on him.
Might be one or two that we don't know. We've already talked to people.
Okay.
I know about your Instagram. We got intel. A lot of serious accusations been brought against you. And this is the time to tell the truth, to help yourself. Because right now, it's really serious. Really, really serious.
As detectives begin to push Jaden, his mom decides she's had enough.
You need to be honest and upfront. Because we know a lot more than what you think. All right?
Then you need to talk to me, sir, in private.
Was this an accident?
Because he's underage. He's underage, and it sounds like you know exactly what happened. So maybe you should
Women and feminism in a nutshell right here. They're all full of shit and it's just a big joke.
I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who bragged that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
I have 3 children. Okay, Mark. You know what?
So,
Mark,
but you don't need a man's money.
All right, but that's it.
Yep. Yep. And I can guarantee you if her husband got custody, it's not like he'd be asking for money from her. It's just fucking retarded, dude. Women have no accountability. They're just fucking children. Thanks for the donation, though, Unicorn Jizz.
Go tell me exactly what happened, and then I will talk to him. Because I don't like you saying that you knew what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
And
We do know.
okay, then you know who did it and what happened. So good. Then we'll go in the other room and you can tell me if he participated in this.
This is not how this is going to work.
It's not?
No. Not at all. Your son did something that resulted in the death of a lady.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
I can prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Then somebody ought to be proving it to me before they're saying something like that to him, because that is very upsetting
What
to
we
me.
want to know, was this an accident? There's always two
I'm
sides
not,
of every
I'm not
story.
liking this.
I don't like this from day one.
I don't like it either.
Neither does the family of the lady that.
Excuse me, I know that. I have felt very bad about that. That is sickening to me. And I have even said this is a horrible thing, that for you to sit here and say that he had something to do with this.
Detectives push on, and this time Jaden chooses a different path.
But I want to know, was this an accident? Or is this something that you meant to do? Because that's a big difference. If this is an accident, or you weren't trying to do this, is one thing.
I didn't do it. I was there.
Okay. So tell me what happened step by step.
Like, basically what I was saying. When we walked up by the stairs, I'm not gonna say names.
You have to say names.
Jordan walks, like, we were walking, and then there was this log, and he kicks it, and it starts to slide.
Okay.
So you're saying Jordan kicked it?
And then it slid, and then we left.
Did you touch the log? Because we talked to Jordan, Miranda, and they all said you're the one that did it.
I grabbed the log.
Okay, so you touched the log.
I touched it, but I did not kick it off or throw it off.
Then what happened to it? How did that smash a lady?
He got kicked off the edge.
Who kicked it?
Jordan.
Jordan kicked it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
We talked to Miranda.
I know this. I know this.
I know about your pact with Jordan. You guys already had this rehearsed. It took him about 30 seconds to break down. Same thing with Miranda and they're pissed. They don't want anything to do with this.
I get this.
We know where they were standing.
We gotta be completely honest with ourselves and others here. You touched it.
Yes,
When did
I
you touch it?
When?
Yes.
Before it fell off.
So now Jaden points the finger at Jordan. Jaden tells investigators that Jordan flipped the log around a tree in front of the cliff.
So you flipped it over and Jordan kicked it. Why did you flip it over?
I flipped it over.
Why?
Because we was going to take it off. Because we just wanted to be like, oh, this would be fun, right?
You showed off to the girls.
So I flipped it, then I was like, second thoughts.
These kids are such bad, stupid liars. It just makes no sense.
I left. Yeah.
What's the gayest plant milk? Probably oat milk.
You guys, I'm being very patient with this, but it sounds like you're trying to talk him into saying something that he's being honest with.
I'm trying to talk him into telling me the truth.
But He just told you what happened.
That's not the truth. I did.
So you're trying to get him to say something that...
I'm trying to get him to tell us the truth. That's what I'm trying to do.
But Jaden's mom is not done trying to shut down the interview.
Do you think I would let you arrest him? Like Jordan Spears would let you arrest Jordan without a lie detector test?
We don't have a choice in this. In the United States, there's a thing called probable cause.
You know what? I do have a choice. So, you're gonna have to you're just gonna have to talk. I just have to get an attorney with the minimum wage, 2 jobs that I work, because you know what? We do have choices.
Yes, we do have choices. We have a choice.
Okay.
That
Well,
happened,
when you
and
get the
died.
I know this lady died. When you get the lie detector test set up for him, then you'll just have to contact me. As for now, Jane and I will be leaving.
And that's
If
not
you're
correct. You can leave. Jaden's going to be placed under arrest.
No, he can't be. He's 16 years old.
So,
Yeah, you can be under arrest for murder if you're 16.
he did something that resulted in the death.
Caca, penis, N-word, faggot. Donate $3.
Nothing on Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back. You're an idiot.
Put your hands behind.
Yeah, I've seen that. Did this guy have his high beams on? Like, I've done this, by the way. If somebody has their high beams on, I flash them, tell them, like, turn your fucking high beams off. So if this guy had his high beams on, and he's, like, blinding everyone else, and then he's, like, complaining he's getting flashed, this, like, is this fake? Yeah, that's fake. It's not real. It's stupid.
This guy has one of the craziest jobs in the world. And on this day, he was asked...
Yeah, I've seen the palm tree cutters. Whatever.
I miss Schaefer.
Where are you think you're gonna take him?
Juvenile detention.
No.
Yes, ma'am. That's how serious this is. There's evidence. There's DNA evidence. There's evidence of
Your statements in here.
You got to think about this.
We're with him, right?
Tomorrow, the arraignment will be at the juvenile court.
State Park with Jordan, his mother, and stepfather. But when they get there, Jordan changes his story several times. Sometimes he says he was looking at Miranda Spencer and the other teenage girl who was with them and didn't see Jaden throw or kick the log. Other times he says he can't remember what Jaden did. Investigators quickly begin to poke holes in his version of events.
Hey there, I want to come down here with this. All right. I want you to watch it. This is going to be you. I'm standing here. How you said you were like this. Right?
Yeah, and then I turned around and looked completely at them.
You looked at them?
Yeah, and I was talking to them. I was having a conversation
You know
with
what
Miranda.
peripheral vision is?
Yeah.
I can see everything he's doing right now.
Remember what he did.
Not only that, there's twigs and branches and everything right here that made noise that would have caught your attention. I mean, if Chris is here and I kicked this, or was it one of these?
Would it? But
so
would
did Jaden turn around and grab it? You got your bad hand? That's a clear path.
No, I did not. I did not pick that log up. Like if I would have picked it up.
Get your story straight, because right now this is what we need to know.
I know. I'm trying to tell you. Like.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. If he threw it, it wouldn't have bounced. If we would have threw it like that, it wouldn't have bounced like that. Anyway. So if he would have kicked it, it would have bounced. Or if he would have pushed it, it would have bounced. But I don't know if he did any of that, is what I'm saying.
So can you hear that baby right now?
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a baby crying.
I know.
You didn't hear anybody screaming.
No.
Nobody yelling.
Jaden and them were yelling at me to run with them, and then we ran.
But before this incident, 3,000 people here. I hear people down there right now. You didn't hear nobody down there?
Maybe 20 here.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was more just talking to all them.
Jordan tells them that he turned his head when he heard Jaden say he was going to throw the log over, and then he saw the log bounce over the edge.
You heard what sounded like a gunshot?
Yeah, I stopped, and I saw him run up there, and I wasn't thinking anything of it, because, like, I didn't think anybody was going to get hurt that afterwards anyway.
That gunshot sound was her head split wide, and that was her skull crushing.
I know, it scared me. It sounded like a bomb, like a loud, like an AR or a bomb exploded.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I saw him right there, he turned around and said, Jordan, come on, and then he ran.
As they're trying to work through the details,
It would have bounced. No, if he would have kicked it, it would have bounced. Or if he would have pushed it, it would have bounced. But I don't know if he did any of that, is what I'm saying.
So can you hear that baby right now?
And I saw him run up there.
when he heard Jaden say he was going to throw the log over, and then he saw the log bounce over the edge.
You heard what sounded like a gunshot?
Yeah.
It sounds like they both threw the log over.
Saw him right there. He did it?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm dead serious. I could have told Chris and your mom.
Alright.
I believe you. I mean,
like,
I think you're being honest.
I want to take...
That's why I want to make sure that this was not here.
Yeah, I never touched a log over here.
I'm not saying you, but did Jaden ever grab anything from there?
Not that I recall.
Jordan insists he only moved the log a little with his foot because his hand was injured, and it was Jaden who sent the log over the edge. But the investigators' suspicions are raised again when Jordan walks them through what they did after the log went over the edge. Jordan says they walked past EMS as they arrived to help Victoria Schaefer, then stopped to take a selfie. It seems they didn't just run out of the park and back to their car.
Miranda was mad at us the whole time. For what? Yeah.
2019, 16-year-olds Jaden Churchhouse and Jordan Buckley are charged with reckless homicide. At a probable cause hearing, their friend Miranda testifies that Jordan is the one who moved the log from the pile 40 feet away from the ledge, and that Jaden is the one who kicked the log over. She says that Jordan told Jaden there was no one below, even though Miranda herself knew there must be and told Jaden not to do it. The judge sends the boys to adult court and charges them with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and felonious assault. In September 2020, both boys, now 17 years old, plead guilty to involuntary manslaughter. The judge sends them back to juvenile court for sentencing, and in October 2020, they're sentenced to 3 years in juvenile detention.
Whoa, they got off easy. Holy shit. Dude, that is nothing. Holy fucking crap.
Miranda Spencer, one of the other teens present.
Dude, there have been black teenagers who have been wrongfully accused of, like, rape. Where, like, the victim just lied. And they get, like, 20 fucking years. And, like, they're not dead. They got raped. And then they get 3 years? Are you kidding me? That's nuts.
It was sponsored by Incogni. More about them a little bit later. Back in early January, I woke up to a headline of the most murderous turncoat in the history of the Central Intelligence Agency. Aldrich Ames was dead. So who was this guy, and why am I making a video about him? You see, every year, I get security training. It's a standard thing that all government contractors have to do. And you see the same names come up as cautionary tales. Robert Hansen, the FBI guy who sold classified documents, CIA contractor Edward Snowden. And yes, Ed, if you're watching this, we still talk about you as a cautionary tale. And Aldrich freaking Ames, who managed to screw up his entire CIA career and still get promoted. So let's talk about Aldrich Ames. Aldrich Ames was born in River Falls, Wisconsin in 1941. His mother taught in public schools. His father worked for the CIA's Director of Operations starting in 1952. Aldrich Ames joined the CIA with this whole set of ideas and attitudes that were pretty typical of people coming in to the agency at that time. America good, communism bad. I actually don't think that's changed all that much, but you have to understand this. This was the height of the Cold War. This was before the internet and the availability of people like me doing cyber intelligence. So you had to do things like the old-fashioned way. You recruited agents inside of Russia to spy for you. They'd take pictures of documents and use dead drops to move that information over to the West. You would build massive antennas to collect signals intelligence. You would actually tail people, to see where they're going and set up elaborate communication systems to send and receive instructions. Today, we have spy satellites.
No, I'm having like whole body fucking cramps. It's from the workout I had earlier. But I'm having really bad fucking cramps just all over.
But back then, they would take pictures on film and literally eject the canisters in space to land in the ocean, where we'd have to like catch the canister as it in a plane as we flew by.
An ingenious and rather simple solution emerged. Drop the undeveloped film in a bucket and have an airplane snag it in midair before it's splashed into the sea.
Now today, to do surveillance, I break into their computer, right? Human intelligence is great, but people lie. You know what doesn't lie? Your browser history, right? I have been inundated with scam phishing attempts recently saying my cloud storage is almost full. These emails are 100% true. And this is designed to get you to click on a link, so you'll enter your real name and password. Now hackers have this information. But how do these scammers get your data in the first place? They buy it. That's what I do when I go find bad guys. I just buy their data. Incogni.com/Ryan to get an exclusive. I can either track their phone directly or just buy their location data. But back then, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was the Wild West. Ames joined the CIA in 1962. Here's the funny thing. On his entrance polygraph, he admitted to committing a crime, which was getting drunk and stealing a bicycle. Now, typically, when getting interviewed for a security clearance, the interviewer doesn't really care what you did. It might be a little bit of weed or taking post-it notes from your employer. They don't care, as long as you admit it. But here's this little thing. With Aldrich Ames, alcohol is going to come back again and again and again. In April of 1962, he was arrested for speeding and for reckless driving in 1965, and he admitted that on at least one of those occasions, it was alcohol-related. By now, in 1967, he had attained the rank of GS7, which is kind of like a lower, mid-level role in a government organization. In this case, he was a records analyst, so he wasn't like a CIA officer yet. But around this time, he was accepted into the career training program, where he met and married his wife, a fellow CIA officer named Nancy Sedgebarth. And before graduation, he was evaluated as intelligent, mature, enthusiastic, and industrious. His first overseas assignment was Ankara, Turkey, where he worked as an operations officer. And this is a role where you do clandestine field operations and you're tasked with recruiting and managing foreign assets and to collect intelligence. Oftentimes, as cover, you might be assigned to the embassy as like the representative from the USDA who's helping the country teach locals to grow crops or whatever. While he was there, his job was to target Soviet intelligence officers for recruitment. And he actually succeeded in infiltrating the Revolutionary Youth Federation of Turkey, a communist organization that tried to overthrow the government. But while he was there, he was actually rated as unsuited for field work. And he returned to CIA headquarters to spend the next 4 years managing assets in the United States. And around that time, he really started hitting the bottle hard. So hard that 2 notes were placed in his personnel file. One, he got drunk at a Christmas party and had to be helped home. And another incident where he was found in like a compromising position with a female CIA employee, also while drunk. Despite this, he kept failing up. By June of 1976, he was working in New York City handling 2 important Soviet assets. Sergei Fedorenko, a nuclear weapons expert with the Soviet mission, and Ardei Shevchenko, a...
That is bizarre.
United Nations Under-Secretary General, who in 1978, with Ames's help, became the highest-ranking Soviet official to defect to the West. This got him some pretty high performance appraisals, and then disaster. In 1976, he left a briefcase with classified documents on a train. The documents were later recovered, and he was punished with a verbal reprimand. Imagine doing that today. You'd be done. By 1981, he was posted to Mexico City, and his wife chose not to come. And this is kind of the point where Aldrich Ames started having affairs, at least one of which was with a foreign national. Now, a little note here, when I go overseas, I never have any fun, because if you have a security clearance and you have a romantic or sexual encounter with a foreign national, you're actually supposed to report it. And he didn't. Now, the funny thing here is that one of the people that he was having an affair with was a Colombian national who was actually an informant for the CIA, a woman named Rosario Casas Dupuy. And there were people at the Mexico City station who even knew about the affair, and they did nothing. I mean, he didn't self-report. Eventually, he divorced his wife and married Rosario, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. We'll see her again later. She really liked to spend money.
She always did enjoy a good squeeze.
While in Mexico, Aldrich Ames had a number of drunken incidents. He yelled at a Cuban official. He was involved in a car accident where he was so drunk he couldn't even answer the police officer's questions. So then he was sent back to the U.S. in 1983. He was told to enter a treatment program for alcohol abuse. And this treatment consisted of a blood test, which showed no alcohol was in his system. And he basically told the counselor, I don't have a drinking problem. And the counselor went, oh, okay, you shouldn't be here. almost like that scene in The Invention of Lying, where the cop is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Now, that was the last of it when it came to being punished for drinking. During a reinvestigation, there was a note placed in Ames's file that said he was a social drinker and occasionally inclined to become a bit enthusiastic when he overindulged in alcohol. That was literally in the report. So despite all this, he failed up again. What? He became the chief of counterintelligence in the CIA's Soviet division in 1983, which guaranteed him access to the nation's deepest, darkest secrets, as well as access to Soviet informants. Now, here's where things kind of get interesting. I'm not a human intelligence guy, but anytime you meet with a potential informant, there's always the risk that you're meeting because the informant wants to recruit you, right? Now, during his divorce, Ames agreed to pay his ex-wife a settlement of $46,000, which is like $114,000 in today's money. He was about $13,000 in debt, or $46,000 in today's money. He had a car loan. He had a new wife, Rosario, who had some pretty expensive taste. In fact, Rosario spent about $5,000 a month, or $15,000 in today's money, going out on shopping sprees and calling her family back in Colombia. And that sounds weird. Back then, you actually had to pay for a long-distance call, and it was really expensive. And that's when he started thinking, I think I know where I can get this money. And he conceived this scam. He said to himself it was a scam, to present himself as a Soviet Union expert under a fake name and fake job to the KGB and offer them intelligence. So on April 6th, 1985, he walked into the Soviet embassy in Washington and handed the duty officer an envelope. That envelope contained information about several Soviet citizens who had approached the CIA to offer to spy for the United States. Here's the scam. The names of the people in the envelope were people that the CIA already believed were double agents and controlled by the KGB. So you're not actually telling the KGB anything they don't already know. But Aldrich Ames pretended like he didn't know that, right? So this information was basically worthless. But 2 days later, the KGB paid him $50,000 in cash, and he walked away with enough money to settle his debts. Had he walked away and never went back, he might never have been caught.
Wow. That easy. Holy shit.
But his wife had expensive tastes.
We don't have a jacuzzi.
Can you believe that?
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Holy crap.
Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? Pretty soon, he's meeting with the KGB on a regular basis. He's earning between $20,000 and $50,000 every time he had lunch. He started passing actual information, top-level CIA and FBI sources who were reporting on Soviet activities. He even wrapped up CIA communication messages in trash bags and simply walked them out of the building. Now, pretty soon, the CIA started losing assets. Like these Soviet sources who were spying for the CIA, they started disappearing. Even worse, new recruitment of Soviet agents was halted because the CIA couldn't protect the assets they currently had. They didn't necessarily want to bring on any more. So the CIA put together a mole hunt team. Mole, 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 mole. Now, by 1989, a fellow CIA employee reported that Ames was living well beyond his means. As a GS-14, making $60,000 a year at that time, he bought a $500,000 house, he drove a Jaguar, he wore tailored suits, and this is really going to blow your mind. He had taken a business trip to Turkey in September of 1993 for the CIA, and he brought along his personal laptop, which contained classified information. You're not supposed to do that, like ever. And while on the trip, Ames's boss asked to use the laptop to play a game, and the boss found an enormous amount of classified material on the laptop, like way more than he would have needed for the conference, including a folder called Vlad. Gee, I wonder what's in that folder. And still nothing was done. But August 1991, a joint unit of the CIA and FBI identified 168 CIA employees who had access to those compromised sources, and the list of names kept getting winnowed down and winnowed down and winnowed down, and Ames stayed on that list until he was one of 29 suspects. So the FBI started to pull financial records from these suspects. Ames was charging as much as $20,000 to $30,000 on his credit card every month. Again, this is in 1990s dollars.
That is outrageous. Holy fuck.
Then the FBI noticed that a lot of his foreign travel, especially back to Colombia, seemed to coincide with cash deposits into banks, and none of these deposits could be attributed to a salary. So at this point, the FBI is like, this is the guy. This is the guy we're looking for. So the FBI places Ames under constant physical and electronic surveillance for 10 months. Like they tapped his phones, searched his office, they went through his garbage, his home, they're tracking his movements. In one case, during a search of Ames's work office, the FBI found 144 classified documents which weren't related to his official duties. In the intelligence community, this is what we call a clue. Meanwhile, he's still working for the CIA. They're still watching him in the hopes that they could catch him in a meeting with his KGB handlers. In October of 1993, the FBI observed Ames leave his residence, and a chalk mark appeared on a mailbox at the corner of 37th and R Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. Now the mailbox isn't there anymore. It's in the International Spy Museum, but a vertical chalk mark on the mailbox was a signal that he needed to meet with the Soviets. In February of 1994, Ames was scheduled to attend this conference in Moscow, and who knows what extracurricular activities he had planned there, right? The CIA couldn't cancel his trip without risking tipping them off, so the morning of February 21st, 1994, the FBI arrested Ames in his car outside his residence. His wife was arrested a few minutes later. Apparently, she knew about everything that Ames was doing. His actions led to the deaths of at least 12 agents that we know of, which is not nothing. And it's really hard to understand the damage he did to the agency's efforts during this decade of informing on the Soviets and later the Russians. Ames is reported to have received around $2.5 million from the Soviets and the Russians during his time as a mole in the CIA. This whole fiasco led to a serious Senate investigation into spying and the nature and value of espionage in the United States. You can read the whole Senate report for free at ryanbeth.substack.com. Ames wasn't bashful about his services to the Soviet Union and later the Russians. He left this breadcrumb trail, which took nearly like a decade to hunt down to its end, and he kept classified files on his personal laptop, then allowing his boss to play a game. Like, he was nuts. This was so incredibly risky. Or, I don't know, maybe he liked the thrill of getting away with it.
Actually, it arouses me.
The one thing that keeps coming up in research...
He's just dumb. I think the guy was just stupid.
...is that the United States, from the perspective of moles and spies, is like terrible at human-based intelligence. Of course, as a Cybin guy, I'm going to say stuff like that, right?
Better luck next time, slugheads.
But throughout the Cold War, double agents proved to be a serious weakness in the CIA's human intelligence loop. These agents were often plants sent to feed the United States information that the KGB wanted planted. In fact, human-based intelligence is often touted as being more fruitful But the U.S. was better at signals and satellite intelligence, and the Russians ran circles around us in human intelligence. I guess because, I don't know, in the Soviet system, money might not have been that great of a motivator. I mean, if you offer to pay a Russian spy money, but it takes 3 years to buy a car and you have to stand in line to buy a loaf of bread, money doesn't really mean that much. So maybe that's why we weren't that good at collecting human intelligence. Another interesting thing to take away is the glorification of spies in the East. Spies are heroes in the East. Whereas in the West, we don't really talk about them. They're more like the unsung heroes of the intelligence community, which kind of reminds me of that movie Argo, where awards and recognition happen secretly, not in the open. So, hey, to those of us who have served and continue to do so, shining a light in places, folks.
That is crazy. Like, especially all the fucking promotions. Like, what the fuck?
A whistleblower trapped inside this scam compound run by the Chinese mafia. A whistleblower trapped inside this scam compound run by the Chinese mafia contacted me.
If they catch me, they actually kill me.
Determined to leak his capture secrets in real time. He would ultimately deliver an unprecedented cache of evidence.
This is a major, major deal.
Exposing the tactics and hierarchy of a slave colony here in northern Laos, where trafficked workers are forced to scam millions from American victims. But first, he had to make it out alive. I'm Andy Greenberg. I investigate the strange, dark, and subversive sides of technology for Wired. This is Hack Lab, the whistleblower inside a crypto scam slave compound. This footage was secretly filmed inside a scam compound in northern Laos. The workers you see are trafficking victims, confined to the compound and forced to work 15-hour night shifts, synced to U.S. daytime hours.
You're about to pass out? Alright, well, nighty-night, Julington.
Their job is to target Western victims with text messages that lure them into fake crypto investments, sometimes stealing hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. The color of the flags on their desks marks whether a team of scammers is meeting their quotas. It's part of a cruel system of incentives and coercion that drives the most lucrative form of cybercrime in the world. The video was shot by a source who first contacted me last June. It all started with an email, no subject line, sent from an address on the encrypted email service Proton Mail. Hello, it began. I'm currently working inside a major crypto romance scam operation based in the Golden Triangle. The unnamed source said he was a computer engineer trapped in the compound, forced to work as a scammer. I've collected internal evidence of how the scam works step by step, he said. I want to help shut this down. I knew only a little bit about the Golden Triangle, a lawless stretch of Laos bordering Myanmar and Thailand, dominated by Chinese syndicates that traffic in everything from drugs to human organs. But after 15 years of covering crypto crime as a reporter, I learned that crypto romance scams, known as pig butchering, drain tens of billions of dollars a year from victims. Behind the scam epidemic.
Yeah, the Lenny and Larry's cookies are good. The white chocolate macadamia nuts, the best.
Are hundreds of thousands of trafficked workers from the poorest regions of Asia and Africa, forced by the Chinese mob to carry out these scams inside dystopian slave compounds. What I didn't know, what no one had ever seen before, was what this industry looked like from the inside, from the perspective of a whistleblower sharing internal information in real time. I gave the source my number on the encrypted messaging app Signal. That night, after my kids were asleep, my phone lit up. The source began sending documents, flowcharts, scripts, internal guides that revealed step-by-step how the scams worked. Fake Facebook profiles, AI-generated deepfakes, and hired models. Carefully scripted affection, luring victims into fake trading platforms. And then my phone rang. Hello.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for being willing to talk. What is your name, or what can I call you?
You can call me Red Bull, okay?
Oh, Red Bull? Red Bull?
Yeah, yes.
Later, he'd tell me he'd been looking at an empty can of the energy drink as we spoke. Okay. He said he'd contacted US and Indian authorities, Interpol, several news outlets. I was the only one who responded.
Not simple thing, yeah. A big scam, very, very big scam.
Wow.
So you are the person I shared my everything with you, okay? And you had me to expose this, right?
I was thrown off. My mind was reeling. I started a new call, this time with video.
Thanks for the membership, Blue Sniper.
Enabled. I needed to see who I was talking to. Hey. So, he showed me. Thank you for picking up the phone. Good to see you. Red Bull told me his backstory. He was in his early 20s from India with a diploma in computer engineering. He'd been recruited with a fake job offer, IT manager, good salary, overseas opportunity. But when he arrived in Laos, his passport was taken by his bosses. Like, can you walk around a bit? Like, turn your camera around and show me out the window.
This is the building here.
Now he found himself trapped within a cluster of ugly concrete buildings known as the Boshang compound in northern Laos. Like most pig butchering scammers, he'd pretend to be a wealthy woman online. His job was to build trust, manufacture intimacy, slowly guide victims towards fake crypto investment platforms run by his bosses.
So please keep it secret, okay?
Oh my god, that sounds miserable.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
So right now my mission is, brother, expose this.
No, thank you for trusting me.
Remember me in your brains, and I have a lot of trust on you.
Yeah, I saw the video of Destiny reacting to me, smashing my keyboard.
Taking unnecessary risks, please, and
okay, no problem.
Thank you very much. The next morning, after a few hours sleep, I reached out to Aaron West, a former prosecutor who now runs an anti-scam group called Operation Shamrock.
How was he able to make this call?
He had to ask for permission from his boss to go to a hotel, but he did. And then he showed me the front of this hotel. It was too blurry, but it was a Chinese sign.
It's all Chinese organized crime, and they move into locations and they literally take over everything is in Chinese. All the food around there is Chinese.
He had to show me a fake Chinese ID that they created for him. West had talked to survivors of scam compounds, she told me. She'd never heard of an actual whistleblower within a compound leaking information to a journalist.
This is a major, major deal.
He seems to be saying that a lot of the victims, or maybe even all of them, are Indian American.
They do that. They do Malaysians on Malaysians. They do Japanese on Japanese. And here's someone on the inside who's willing to share this information and tell us everything about how this whole thing runs.
From that point on, Red Bull and I fell into a routine. Every morning, New York time, late night in Laos, he would walk outside his dorm and call me on Signal before heading to the cafeteria for dinner. The start of a work shift that would last until the afternoon of the next day. Sometimes Red Bull would tell me to record my screen. Then he would walk into the building and secretly film his surroundings while pretending to talk to his uncle. I got a tour through the bright lights of the Broshong office's lobby and stairwells, the lines of depressed-looking South Asian and African men lining up for food in its canteen. As they filed into the office, team leaders took employees' personal phones and put them in a box when they began their shifts, and they were strictly prohibited from taking work devices out of the office. But otherwise, the surveillance of staffers seemed surprisingly loose. The compound ran on a system of indentured servitude and debt, not shackles and chains. On the surface, it didn't look like the modern slavery I'd read about elsewhere. Instead, the whole operation felt more like a scene from Sorry to Bother You, a grotesque parody of a corporate sales floor. Bosses would post motivational messages to an office-wide WhatsApp group. They wrote things like, every day brings a new opportunity, a chance to connect, to inspire, and to make a difference. Talk to that next customer like you're bringing them something valuable, because you are. There were promises of commissions and getting rich, but in reality, the system kept workers trapped in debt. Red Bull, or Ma Chao, the pseudonym in the compound, earned in yuan about $500 a month, then lost almost all of it to daily fines, usually for missing quotas. Red Bull told me he had never successfully scammed anyone. That meant he was fined so much that he was virtually broke and forced to subsist almost entirely on the food in the office cafeteria, mostly rice and vegetables that he said tasted of strange chemicals. Even that food, he said, was denied to anyone who so much as arrived late to their shift. Underneath the pretense of a voluntary sales force was a brutal system. The bosses held the workers' passports so no one could go home until they paid off their debt. Red Bull had heard of colleagues who were beaten or electrocuted, even one sold into prostitution, allowed to strike it to celebrate.
It announced in each individual post and had them
Their own banks when they issued fraud warnings.
Your bank might say that there's something wrong with this, but like, don't listen to them. That's just because they don't want you moving your money out of their financial institution and into cryptocurrency or into this other thing. It's this sort of inoculation and preparing them in advance. Can you believe my bank said this might be a financial scam or crypto scam or something? It's like a really wild psychological trick. Well, a scammer wouldn't talk about scamming. That would be nuts.
I mean, a lot of these documents are fully in Chinese. So Ziyi, you were helping us out as a native Chinese speaker by analyzing a lot of them, including this website that was really interesting that is kind of a massive collection online of scam stuff.
Yeah, so this is like a public website that anyone can open and look into.
I'm with family and dentist visits and gym time. The other names Li Bo, Wang Zai, Yanzu, and 50K's boss was called Dahai, or C. The boss above all of them was known as Ah Lang, but Red Bull never saw him in person.
He's very big and very powerful person. He also doing here organs, organ supply.
Really?
Human organs.
Sometimes when Red Bull and I would speak or text, he'd call me uncle.
Don't worry, Uncle, I will be back.
A cover story in case anyone ever overheard or seized his phone. For a while, we even tried a different cover story of me pretending to be his secret girlfriend back home. Heart emojis and misuse, until it became too embarrassing to keep up and we scrapped it. It also reminded me a bit too much of the fraud romances his team was carrying out. One night, Red Bull explained how the compound used that AI tool and others like DeepSeek to keep conversations flowing endlessly to sound caring, romantic, persuasive. All of the scammers on his team were trained to use these LLMs to clean up their language, find just the right sentiment, and never run out of inviting turns of phrase. It had clearly worked on me. It's funny how easy it is to be taken in by a bit of sympathetic text sent by a new acquaintance on the other side of the world. Referring, it seemed, to the walks when Red Bull would talk to me on Signal and generating so few new clients. Maybe, Amani suggested, a beating or some electric shocks would increase his productivity. Then Red Bull also told me new surveillance cameras had been installed, one behind his desk, one in front. I told him all of this meant he should immediately stop messaging me from the office. My editors went further. They insisted that for Red Bull's safety, I should stop working with him at all until he was free. When I broke that news to Red Bull that our reporting process was finished, he told me, to my surprise, that he wanted to leave the compound immediately. His escape plan was to forge a document claiming that he was under police investigation in India. He hoped his bosses would let him leave temporarily to deal with the situation. I'm very worried about that they're... You can do, please help me. From Red Bull's messages, it seemed like his bosses hadn't detected he was talking to me, but were punishing him for trying to escape. Soon after, he messaged again. His captors had locked him in a room, he wrote, and demanded 20,000 yuan, about $2,800 for his release. I felt sick. Journalistic ethics forbid paying sources, plus paying a ransom would reward these human traffickers, and yet this was a man begging for his life. At the same time, a dark thought had crept into my mind that I almost didn't want to acknowledge. What if Red Bull was scamming me? It was clear that he definitely was a real person inside a scam compound, but what if this had been the scam all along? Hook a journalist, make him...
That would be the most hilarious, like, crazy meta level scam.
Responsible, then demand payment to save his life. I frantically consulted experts for advice.
What we've seen happen is people are victimized and have their money stolen from them from scammers. And then the scammer flips the script and says, hey, I'm actually the victim here, just like you. I just need some money to get out. Would you pay my ransom? And you can imagine that that would be very effective on people who have already been brought in by emotional time.
Someone to pay his ransom. I risked a call.
Hello, good morning.
So how are things?
Things are not going good because I have also fever,
He'd been repeatedly beaten, slapped in the face, kicked, and forced to confess to forging the police documents. His bosses even mixed a mysterious powder into his water to make him compliant. It had made him unnaturally talkative and confident, but then gave him a rash on his skin. He was denied food and water for days.
I also sent the message to the Indian embassy, no response. Nobody is going to help me, I don't know what. When the luck is bad, nobody...
No response. By the compound's own rules, Red Bull should have earned a commission for those scams, but they never paid him. Later, I looked back at the picture of the office whiteboard Red Bull had shared early on. On it, I could see quite clearly the Chinese name the compound had given him, Ma Chao, next to the sum of $504. I had, until then, entirely missed this. Just days later, something else unexpected happened. Red Bull told me the compound was packing up. The office computers were boxed, the staff moved to a new building, and everyone was ordered to keep working from their dorm rooms. He had heard rumors that a police raid was imminent. During all of this, Red Bull was separated from his coworkers, forced to sleep on the floor, fed only sporadically, often only leftovers or rotten food. He lost weight, he was sick with a fever. For trying to escape, he was treated more or less like a dog. Unbelievably, that's when Red Bull took the biggest risk of all. Because of the move to evade a raid, security measures in the compound had been relaxed and his coworkers had brought their work phones into the dormitory. Red Bull saw an opportunity. While one of his coworkers was sleeping, he secretly added his own phone as a linked device on a WhatsApp of the coworker's work phone. Then, by scrolling through that WhatsApp chat and recording his own screen, Red Bull captured nearly 3 months of the compound's hour-by-hour internal chats. Thousands of conversations between workers and their supervisors, documenting its scams, quotas, punishments, manipulations, and daily operation at an unprecedented level of
To be reading texts that are a leader sending out suggestions and inspiration about how to hit these goals, when in fact the goals are theft of money. People
escaped those raids, but the move had left them in cramped conditions with their work disrupted. As their operation hid from the cops, Red Bull begged the bosses to let him go. He argued that he was of no use to them. He had no money, and clearly there was no one in the world willing to pay his ransom. He was dead weight, taking up space when they were already crowded into their temporary building. Shockingly, his bosses agreed. Rather than kill him, they told him he could leave. They gave him back his passport, but told him to get into a car without most of his belongings, not even his shoes. He left the Golden Triangle wearing only flip-flops. To scrounge enough money to get home, he borrowed from his brother and from a scam compound recruiter who he promised to go work for, essentially scamming a scammer. After weeks of buses, trains, and cheap flights, Red Bull made it back to India. Red Bull had rescued himself, and despite the fact that I'd never paid him anything, not even his ransom when he was held captive, he continued to send me materials he'd smuggled out of the compound. Now there could finally be no doubt. Red Bull was real. A few months later, I flew to India to meet him in person.
Really good to see you.
His real name, he told me, was Mohammed Muzahir. We spent a few days together, and I learned that the brave young man I'd been communicating with for months was now broke, traumatized, sleeping as little as 3 hours a night, haunted by the people he had left behind and by the 2 victims he admitted he'd scammed under coercion.
So now that we're publishing this stuff, is this a happy ending to your story? Is this in fact what you wanted? Actually, if I tell you the truth, this is not the happy ending of my story. This is just a journey I started because I left a lot of people there. A lot of my colleagues are there working under pressure. A lot of women working under the pressure of Chinese bosses, 14 hours, 16 hours, sometimes without food. So honestly, I'm not happy with the ending of the story because the memory is still there. I'm still thinking about the people who are victim of this scam.
When Muzahir isn't working or applying to jobs in universities, he scrolls obsessively through reports of scam operations. The operation that trapped him, he's learned, has already relocated to Cambodia, a country that's become by some measures an even safer base for scammers to operate from. By messaging his former coworkers, Muzahir says he's determined that the compound is now based in the town of Shrey Tam, a growing hotspot for scam operations. One of his old bosses, too, confirmed to Muzahir in text messages that the compound is still recruiting new workers, victims trapped in a system of modern slavery masquerading as a job.
We're talking about buildings.
Your ideas about human nature.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, that is fucked, dude.
All right, we were called here. You've set your yard on fire. You put that down right now. I'll blow your fucking brains out.
Police respond to reports of a woman who had set a telephone pole on her neighbor's yard on fire, but this officer had no idea what he was getting himself into.
Telephone box in the yard.
So if I want to set it on fire, I can set it on fire.
Is that your yard too?
Over there? No, that's their yard.
Okay. Well, where?
Like, currently, you are standing on my yard.
Yes, ma'am.
You work for the government.
I do.
I don't know if you're a Christian, but if you're...
I need to talk to you.
I have a fire extinguisher.
All right, thank you.
Got it on camera. You cannot take
No,
you can't. You are trespassing. I just on myself.
That's good for you.
Stop! You are trespassing. You are trespassing on my property. About
Give me your hand.
Myself. No,
Give
you are
me.
kidnapping on my property. Myself. Property.
Around. Turn around.
You want to watch me go to the bathroom?
No, I don't. Turn around.
I'm on my.
Yes, you did.
I'm on my property. I asked for that. Seriously. You're about to.
That gun.
Sheriff's office, sheriff's department. Anybody home?
Try to grab a gun.
No. Coming out.
I was. She said she that lived.
All right. I am tired and I'm going to go to bed, but hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. This is a cat. His name is Gummy. He's very gummy. He smells really good. He's got a good kitty smell. Love my Gum. He's really big. See this big son of a bitch? He's my Gum. We're gonna go to bed and cuddle and sleep together. That's what we do every night. He comes to bed with me and we cuddle and nap. And then he wakes me up at 5 in the morning for food. Even though he knows breakfast is at 7 in the morning. It's just what he does. But I love him. Mwah. Here's my gum. All right. Well, sweet dreams, everybody. Thanks again. I will see you all tomorrow. And nighty-night.